Hey guys, Clumsy here. Welcome back to Explain. The Challenger 650 from Hot Start. How's everyone doing? Thank you for joining. Goodness. Today is going to be one of those days again. My hands are actually pretty sweaty already. I think I've gotten enough practice with the CL650. I think I know how to fly it in the basic terms. And now I think it's time to take it one step higher, take it to the next level by getting into VATSIM again. Thank you for 16 months, Scotsman. Goodness. MG trains. Soon, TM. Thanks for the resub, man. Appreciate it. Welcome back. So yes, we'll be headed into VATSIM today. We have more or less full VATSIM coverage if we're lucky. We show you the map. So I already prepared the flight plan and tried to prepare as much as I could beforehand. So you guys will not have to bear through the entire flight planning. The flight planning part is very interesting to me, but might not be for everyone else. But yes, in the essence of preparing to work with controllers with real people, which is always increasing my anxiety by a notch, I had to prepare a bit earlier. So this is the flight plan. You can see the magenta line there. We'll be starting off in Manchester, not in the UK, but Manchester in New Hampshire, here in the US. And we'll be headed west towards Toronto Pearson International, Charlie Yankee Zulu. And you can see based on the colors here in Volanta that we actually have VATSIM coverage. So all of these colors, these shaded areas are air traffic controllers. The blue ones are center, the green ones are approach. And yes, we are even covered here. So this is like Boston approach, but Manchester, the airport we're currently at, is right inside that airspace. So I think we will actually be getting our clearance from them. But yes, we do have this gap here though, where we don't have any controller. I'm not sure if they'll hand us over to Toronto Center here, or just maybe switch to Unicom for a bit and then switch back to Toronto. So there might be a gap there, but more or less we should have full VATSIM coverage. And that is a pretty scary thought for me. I know for some of the experts it's like normal, but I know for me, it always gets me worked up. So wish me luck. I'll need it. We'll see how it goes. Let's go ahead and file our flight here from Jenny. And yes, I did file my flight plan in VATSIM already. So we should be okay there on that regard. All right, tail number 651 Charlie Lima. ETD, estimated time of departure would probably be around 20-25 minutes, something like that. We have 2 crew and we have 3 packs on board today. Jet A fuel for the fuel tanker.
Of course,
and
Captain.
Sign that up.
I'll get that organized for you right away.
Hey Patrick, how are you doing, man? Glad you could join today. The FPS is not the best though. Interesting. Fancy seeing you here, Patrick. How are things? Done any trucking recently? Either in real life or in the sim? Very nice clouds outside. And this is one of the updates as well. So the Challenger 650 has been getting updates recently. And one of the major updates, it might be a small thing, but look at this, guys. The flags actually move. And this is really depending on the weather outside. This is not like just static moving. If it's gusting outside, if there's a thunderstorm, if the winds are strong, then it will be appropriate. If the winds are calm, then that will not move. Pretty cool. So we have all kinds of flags now, even on the gear. We have it. That guy is even like squished in between. I'll show you later how to remove that. But yeah, you have pins for the gears and everything for safety. So the walk around is really an important part of the flight. And yes, looks like we have some icing on the wings, just pretty mild, but we do have it. So I think we'll need to call de-icing as well. Yikes. Yeah, it's pretty cold here, I think, in Manchester. I would imagine close to 0 or negative even in terms of Celsius. So let's do the walk around. Let's remove the flags here. But yeah, it's a nice indication to see how strong the winds are. Even just as you see your plane, you already have an idea. Will it be an exciting flight in terms of the weather, the winds? This has been implemented as well, I believe. Yeah, the oxygen levels are now accurate. And I think you can refill it, but not through here. But you can check the levels through here. Good. So that would be part of the walk around as well. That's for the refueling. Later, the guy who's taking care of the refueling will open that up. And now there are hoses implemented. So from the tanker, you'll actually see a physical hose connecting to the plane. So all of those have been added as well for all our immersion. Yeah, that wing definitely has some icing in it. Not that thick, but there is something and we don't want to risk it. Looks good. One thing I forgot is we should actually, as we do our walk around here, we should actually be removing the flags already, the pins. Otherwise, we won't be able to retract our gear. Looks good. Sim Trucking Pro Mods, always a good thing, Pro Mods. Where have you been driving? Lots of people have been in the Norway area. And yes, I cannot wait for you guys to see the new Pro Mods 260 area in Norway. Care of Scan and what's his name? Callum? Oh, I forgot his name. My bad. Right, that looks good. You definitely need de-icing. Let's remove both pins. Right. We can hear Bob now driving in. Yeah, that's him. And he should be opening that up later on. We'll see the host later. There is also one interesting update here. Let's try it. I don't normally do this, but let's try it just for you guys to hear it. Because normally how it works, you can imagine him in his truck. He's connecting the hose, right? And then he'll supposedly come up to the plane. Like he'll climb the stairs here. He'll find us and he'll ask us how much it would, how much fuel to add. But if you close the door, then how can he climb up? So that's going to be one of the challenges from Bob today, and we'll see what he does about it. Okay, I'm just taking a look at the circuit breakers, making sure that nothing is popped, nothing is... I guess you can see it from here in side view, right? If something is popped, you'll see it immediately. Everything looks good on this end. You're in Israel now. Oh, nice. ProMods Middle East. I haven't checked that out in a while. Looks good. Let's have a look that the switches are all in the off position. Hydraulics, yes. Landing gear lever is down. Nose wheel steering. You guys hear it? Flaps are up. Let's turn on the battery. You guys hear him? Backstore out handle, yeah, that's fine. Let's double check the DC electrical system. Batteries have 24 volts. This always cracks me up. Oh, yeah, you will see the wilder side of Bob.
FBI, open up.
Did he just say FBI? let's see if we can. Yeah, let's open it up. It's not too happy about it. There you go. They need Bob. How much food do you have? On 2,000. Okay.
All right, Captain. Fuel truck is hooked up. Just let me know how much fuel you need. Or would you like to go tanks full today?
The immersion in this plane is amazing. Alright, so around 2,500 fuel. The fuel sensor is not immediate. It's still trying to read that, so it will still come up. But in terms of the flight plan we have today, we will need around 5,200. So let's add that and maybe adjust a bit more for change. So 5,200, so that's around 2,500 more, 2,700. Yeah, let's get 2,700. And then furthermore, we need to compute that because 2,700 is in pounds. But this guy, the fuelers, in reality, they speak in gallons. So how many gallons is that? We'll need to divide it. So 2,700 pounds divided by the current density for today, 6.854, amounts to 393 gallons. Let's close it to 400 gallons to be on the safe side. So 400 gallons today. Something like, if I can move it. Come on, there you go.
All right, I'm gonna go start up the pump.
Hey, Mechanical, glad you made it, man. I'll need all the help I can get. I am very nervous. My hands are super sweaty. I haven't even logged the VATSIM yet. Right. So let me show you how it looks outside now with the hose and everything. So the fuel truck actually connects physically now to the plane. It's amazing, right? That detail. Okay, so he's ready. Should be ready to turn on the pump, but we need to turn it on our side as well so that the plane can accept the fuel from the truck. So let's open that up here. So, and then the left and right wings, the left and right main tanks. There we go. And that says open, so that means it's refueling now. That should work. Good. Right, and while that's working, actually, this is one more of the updates. I've done that already. You can actually close and open the shutters for each of the windows. And it's just nice to see, you know, as a pilot, you enter your plane, you do all through your motions of checking everything. And in addition to that, as part of that, you get to open each and every window. Just added immersion, right? And you can see the lighting changing as you open the window, the sun coming through. Just super cool, and you can see the ice with the wings with a bit of icing in there. Adds to the entire immersion. Love it. Right, looks good. Let's have a look. How is our voltage doing? 24 volts. We need at least 22 volts, so that looks okay. We should be able to start up the APU now. Yeah, that looks good. Yeah, this plane really has a lot of elements that I hope will be picked up by other developers in all the other sims, because this kind of immersion would definitely shine in MSFS, right? With all the amazing visuals, I think it will really shine. You can hear footsteps as you walk, really on the eye level of how an average person is, like the eye level, right? So you can see really how large the plane is from a normal eye level. It's quite nice. Right, so have a look here. Yeah, the APU is 99% already on the RPM, so that should be good. We should get a veil. APU generators going on. Turn on the nav and logo lights to indicate that the plane is turned on from outside, so people can see. And we go through the checklist. Something I can't explain. I think it's going to be very hard with this plane not to want it, to be honest. 26 volts APU generator is on, and that reflects right here. That looks good. And also it has amazing integration with Xpilot, with the VATSIM client. So this is the client, which looks like the vPilot for MSFS, right? But it is very well integrated as a plugin inside. Like you can make sure that if you want it, the text here can actually appear in the sim itself, so you don't need a separate window. You can actually control the volume as well through the plane's volumes.
Refueling is complete,
like
Captain.
this one, right? Is the volume. If you lower it or increase it, then it will also increase and decrease the volume accordingly. So it's very well integrated to the entire platform. Let's have a look. That's 5,200. That's exactly what we want, Bob.
Okay,
Go ahead and
just one
disconnect.
quick
Thank you.
signature on here, and I'll be on my way.
399.9 gallons. That's pretty expensive, isn't it? 616 per gallon. Yikes. 2465. Okay. I don't know.
Here's a
But
copy
I'm not
for
the
your
one paying for
records.
it, so
Have
I
a
don't
nice
really
day.
mind. Have a nice day too. And because we now have the plane powered up, we can connect to VATSIM, and it's here. The guys. Okay. 651 Charlie Lima. Challenger 651 Charlie Lima. It's going to be our call sign today. Connect to VATSIM. We are connected, and we should get all of those soon. Do we have some planes outside? Seems like we do. I am hearing something. Not sure. That is pretty noisy though. Let's get inside. Alright, so let's go ahead and connect to Boston approach 133. Let's also dial in Boston Center.
1343 Juliet, Boston departure, radar contact, climb and maintain is 7,000.
Is that pretty loud?
7,000.
Yeah, it's pretty loud. My bad. Alright, so let's try it. If I lessen the volume, maybe something like that.
Maintain 5,000. Left speed 360 is descending, maintain 5,000.
Actually, no, the volume is okay in some cases.
Number
Just sometimes.
43 Juliet, turn
It's
right
loud.
heading 150. Right turn 150.
Hello, Captain. It's Jenny from Hot Start Flight
Charlie
Support.
Bravo, Alpha,
Your
Charlie,
passengers have
November,
arrived.
Class Bravo,
Shall I have them
Alpha,
brought to the
Eagle
plane?
discretion. Contact Boston
So if we want to
approach
lower the
118.2.
volume, should be able to do that, I think.
Understood. They'll be there in a couple of minutes.
Yeah, now it's
Anything
muted,
else?
right? So we can probably dial that just a little bit like that.
Always a pleasure. Take care.
Hello, Jenny. Hey, Muraz. Passengers are on the way, and we're not yet there, so we'll have to get ready. Okay,
Flight
let's do this.
compartment checklist. AC and DC electrics.
AC and DC,
Nav
I've done
lights,
that.
logo light.
Nav lights and logo lights are
Cockpit
on.
lights.
Cockpit lights
Lamp
are okay.
test.
Lamp test, let's do a quick one. How are you doing, Muraz? Any new plane you're flying? Have you tried the twatter? What's your first impression on it? Lamps look good.
Duct monitor. FMS database status.
FMS database status. Let's go ahead and reset that. I also very much like this pop-up methodology here. So it's easy to type things and easy to see. You don't have to have different camera views. Alright, that is reset. Set the position there.
FMS flight plan uplink. ATIS.
And let's go get our flight plan from SimBrief. So we are flying from Manchester in New Hampshire to Toronto. And let's get that. Do we have ATIS? No, I don't think we have ATIS. Okay. Barely touch MSFS lately. Same here, same here. Around the DCS to get back into it. Nice. Oh, out of simming for many weeks. Hope you're doing fine. Hey, Adventure, good morning. How are things? One second. I actually got a naming convention. Okay, I see. I have been asked to say... okay. I think it's because my ID and my name don't match. Second. So I got a private message from one of the VATSIM supervisors. They're just enforcing the rules. VATSIM has some strict rules, like they don't want the code names or nicknames or whatever. They want either your
Hello,
real
Captain.
name
Hope you are doing well today.
or at least your VATSIM
Great.
ID.
There's nobody
something like
else
that.
coming along today. So as far as we're concerned, we're all good to go.
Thank you. Yes, passengers are good. We should be ready to close the plane now soon. Okay. Their certificate ID number. Okay, that's the one. Okay. Looks good. Alright, so let me adjust that. So this is what I'm talking about. So this is my ID. and then they want the name, you can't just put Clumsy in here. At the very least, you can put your ID or put in your real name or something. But yeah, they don't allow code names. All right, so let's connect again. That should work now, I hope. Twin auto review flight.
650, 5 miles from Loner, cross Loner at 3000, cleared RNAV, runway 27 approach.
Not at the moment, Adventure. I'm not very pleased with it at the moment, to be honest. I'm waiting for an update for the proper sounds and proper things to be implemented. I watched a video from, what's his name? Very nice YouTuber. He's a real corporate pilot. But yes, it's not what I am looking for at the moment. So I'll wait for an update, and then if it's better, and then I'll try it out. All right, looks good. 80s. Let's go ahead and get our 80s as well. There's no 80s outside, so there's no 80s in VATSIM, so let's instead get it from here. From both. Is there a D80s though for this airport? I don't think so. Yeah, only an 80s. Because if there's D80s, you can actually get the data link in here. But that's only if there is a D80s. If not, then we can only get the METAR. Right. Send that out. Looking good. HE. Hey, no worries, man. No worries at all. Thanks for being here. And yes, get well soon, man. All good, no worries. Thank you for letting me know, though. Appreciate it. Happy to have you, Richie. Okay, let's go and get that. Now, what I've gone into the habit of doing is actually I have this sticky right here, and then I have this one as my call sign. So whenever I report to ATC, I always have a reference. I just look at my left side and say, okay, Challenger 651 Charlie Lima. And I always, until it ingrains with me. And then I have the destination, the origin and destination airports listed, and then I try to put in the METAR whenever I get it, so I can always have it with me, like so. U065, -1, -12. Q point -12, 3001 would be the altimeter, that thing. Okay, remarks, Okay, is there anything significant we need to worry about? I don't think so. The SLP, I think, is pretty serious, but I have not really encountered that in Explain yet, so I'm not sure if that's implemented. Supercooled liquid particles, is it? So, very dangerous icing conditions, I think, basically. Okay, this one is 0 Zulu, 310 10 knots, 15. Didn't know Canada could reach beyond 10 statute miles for visibility. -12, -18. And we have altimeter 3020. I think that is good enough to get an idea of the weather here. Right, so let me bring that back there. Good. Alright, so that's it. We have the FMS flight plan uplink and the ATIS.
Anti-skid.
Anti-skid, let's test that quickly. Just put that in here. Yeah, anti-skid in test. Good.
Nose door.
Nose door is clear.
Hydraulic 3A pump.
Hydraulic 3A pump. Let's turn on and let's double check that the hydraulics is indeed getting some pressure. There it is. 3000 psi, and also the inbound brakes are inboard brakes are pressurized.
Brake pressure.
Yeah, 3000. That's good.
Parking brake.
Parking brake we can now also set by moving through here. This is some nice detail. You actually have to press on the toe brakes before you pull this. If you just pull it, you can see to apply the parking brake, so it will not work. It will not budge. Because I think in real aircrafts, you really have to press on the toe brakes and then pull the parking brake. So all those little details are, yes, implemented in the plane. And it's amazing, all those small things. They really add up.
Nose door.
All right, nose door. That's one thing. That's the good reminder before we actually close this up. We actually have to, if you guys remember, we still have one pin right there. And you actually open it. You need hydraulic power for this. So that's why we turned on the hydraulics 3A. check the hydraulics pressure. Now that that's there, we can now open this up, and there's actually a switch here. Oh, didn't I lock that last time? Yeah, yikes. And this switch right here would open the nose door, and then inside you can actually see all the happenings in here. You can even see like the latch, I think, right? When the nose gear comes up, that's where it latches and locks in place. Something like that. And now we can remove the pin. And you even have in here, lights. Or when it's dark and everything, you need additional lights. That is all implemented. Oop. And yes, you can also see the inboard and outboard brakes, I think, the pressure. This is the one, inboard, 3000 psi. So you can also check that there. So now that looks good, go back here and bring up the nose door, close that up. I have never seen this in any other plane. Such immersion. And now we are good to go. Now we can close the door. Hey, Kevo! Glad to have you here, man. I need all the moral support I can get because, yes, I'm starting to get nervous. How are things? There you go. Frustrating, yeah. Good thing you are enjoying DCS. Yeah, I'm also waiting for Sim Update 8 for MSFS, then I'll try it out again. This is also one more additional thing. You actually have an indicator now to avoid confusion. Because there are 2 steps to close the door. If you only do one, it will still remain opened or unlocked. So you want that green in there just to make sure that it's really locked now. And now, of course, for our passengers, we want to cover that thing, the stairs, so we hide it with a curtain. And now it's flashy and it's classy. Cool. Let's go and oh, can't you even do this? AC utility, I think, is still off. Okay. Now in VR, hey, one sec. Hey G, thank you for... Oh goodness, thank you for subbing. You managed it using Twitch Prime. Awesome, man. Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you for 23 months. I didn't hear that come up. Or maybe I was busy. They did tell the VR part. The plane works in VR perfectly, but only mainly in the cockpit. When you have to go out, you have to turn off VR, unfortunately. You have to go into 2D mode, do all the walkarounds and everything. And then once you're ready, sit down and then enable VR. Because this is where VR is working. I think the platform does not support the walkaround in VR, unfortunately. Alright, that looks good.
Hydraulic panel and pumps.
Alright. Turning on the hydraulic pumps. Well, auto.
Electric panel.
Electric panel, yeah, looks good. AC, yeah, generators 1 and 2 are still
AC,
off.
DC utility switch.
Utility switch, let's turn that on, and that should now power the screens here at the back. That should turn on in a bit. It's booting up probably, but this one should be on now. There you go. You can now have a takeoff briefing.
If we may please have your attention. Your flight
there you go.
crew would like to welcome you aboard this Challenger 650.
And we can actually close the door for their privacy.
Like to take a moment to review the safety features of this Challenger 650 aircraft.
And that also mutes the PA announcement. The PA, right? All muffled now. Very nice. Wonderful implementation.
Start ignition panel.
Start ignition. Yeah, ignition is off. Fuel panel. Let's go ahead and do the dance here. So to test the fuel panel, we basically have to do like a counterclockwise sequence. That goes off. That goes on. Right goes on. That goes off. And then this goes off. We can go into the detail of that next time, but yes, that's how you basically do
LCV.
it. APU LCV, that turns on the APU bleeds.
10th stage
and
isolation
the
valve.
Isolation valve for the 10th stage. Now we can turn on the packs.
Air conditioning panel.
And we should hear the air conditioning start up. And that should start cool or warming up, in this case, the cabin. You can see there, it's starting. And you can also see the additional EGT induced on the APU because we need more from it. So it needs to do more for us, basically. Hey, Laguber. Hey, K-Rush. Thank you for joining, guys. Super hooked, Kevo. Super hooked on the CL650. It's the only thing I've flown since this plane released. And yes, I set up X-Plane from scratch because of this, and I have not regretted it. Close the blinds for privacy. Something like that, yes.
Pressurization panel.
Pressurization should be good because this is where we landed. And yes, the state saving is amazing. Every little knob, every setting, every switch is remembered for when you leave. Even the exact position and the orientation of the plane. If you park in this gate or this ramp, next time you load the plane, it loads in that exact position. There's an option to disable it if you need to go somewhere else, but by default, it is how it works. So the state saving is like the best I've seen so far. You can load and save states, load an approach, repeat the approach however many times you wish. It has an autosave feature, so if the sim crashes, you can load up back where you maybe a few seconds before the sim crashed. It's happened to me a few times already.
Bleed air panel.
Bleed air panel, yes, those are the lights we want.
Anti-ice panel switch. Cal anti-ice switches.
Cal anti-ice, what we want to do is just check them on and make sure that there is no warning that comes up. That looks good. There you go. This is the Challenger 650 from Hot Start.
Anti-ice panel.
This is the predecessor of the CRJ, I believe. So a lot of the buttons will look very similar. This is where they got it from. But for me, actually, this is more advanced because this has auto throttles. This has the works. Premium plane.
Emergency lights.
Anti-ice panel. Did I not do that? Oh, it's okay. Alright, let's work on that later. Alright, emergency lights.
Passenger signs.
Passenger signs. We now have those seatbelt chimes.
ELT.
ELT
Glare
is
shield
armed.
panel.
Glare shield panel is good.
Crew and passenger oxygen.
Crew oxygen, actually passenger oxygen is okay at 1810. And crew oxygen, we test using this one. If you hear that whoosh, then it's good. And that actually takes a bit of oxygen. So if you do that repeatedly, you'll see the overall oxygen like reservoir inside the plane starts to go lower and lower. Everything is simulated.
DCU warning panel. CVR. Audio
I'm
panels.
going to skip some. Audio panels, yeah, this is this one.
Maintain 3,000 now.
You can max that out.
SPS system.
Turn left at 150 to send maintain 3,000.
Maybe 35%.
150 to send 3,000.
Yeah, something like that. Okay. SPS system is for the stall protection system, I think. Stall protection thingy, you'll see. It simulates a high angle of attack of stall, and then the stick shaker and the stick pusher.
Integrated standby instrument.
Standby
Clock,
instruments,
EFIS,
clock,
ICAS.
EFIS and ICAS are okay.
Main landing gear bay overheat.
Main landing gear bay overheat is over here for testing it.
Gear bay overheat.
By the Zibo.
Gear
Yeah.
bay overheat.
ATC chatter, this is VATSIM. These are real people talking. Connected currently to VATSIM. CRJ and MSFS. Yeah, the autopilot can get a bit wonky sometimes. In a basic operation, it works, but it has its quirks.
Pause warning switches.
In MSFS.
Lima, 658, probably Lima, it's going to be a left turn 150, but
Yes.
then no problem. Turn right heading 300, join the local flag.
Okay, let's go and test the toss there.
Lights
300, join the local flag. Maintain 3,000.
Pitch and roll disconnects.
Wind shear.
Ground
That's good.
spoilers.
Wind shear.
Ground spoilers are
Thrust
armed.
reversers.
Are auto
Terrain,
actually.
terrain. Pull
Reversers
up.
are armed.
Thrust levers.
Thrust levers are
Engine
idle.
speed switches. Engine vibration check. Oral
Looks
warning.
good.
Smoke detector. Trims.
Mhm.
Mock trim.
Trim. Yeah, this is exactly like the CRJ, right? You have the stab trim, and then
Yaw
you have the
dampers.
yaw damper. Super cool.
Reversionary inhibit switch. IRS.
IRS is aligned because we have the synthetic vision.
CPDLC.
CPDLC, I don't think that's implemented
TCAS.
yet. TCAS, we can test that. Yes. If you go here, go to test the TCAS, and you can see all those, the pull up or go down or whichever indications that is.
System test okay.
Looks good. And one thing to note, whenever you do the toss test a while ago, it changes the format of the PFD into the PPOS instead of rows. So you have to bring it back to rows like that one, so that you get the needles. That always catches me off guard.
ATIS and clearance.
ATIS and clearance. Okay, here we go. This is where the this is the part I get nervous about. Thanks for the follow, K-Rush. Appreciate it.
58 Bravo Lima, turn right heading.
Yeah, I'm super scared about VATSIM. I've done it a couple of times, and I'm still scared as heck. Okay, let's try this out. We are tuned into Boston Approach. Let's do a radio check. Boston Approach, Challenger 651 Charlie Lima. Radio check, please.
651 Charlie Lima, Boston Approach. I have you about 3 by 5. You're coming in really low. I can understand you though, but you're coming in low.
Okay, thanks. I'll adjust. Let's do an adjustment. I actually haven't done this before yet.
651 Charlie Lima. I think you're on the ground of Manchester. You're going to want to contact Boston Center 134.7. I do not control that portion of the E90. Here comes.
Got it. Thanks for the clarification, Challenger 651 Charlie Lima. Okay, so they told us that we actually don't talk to them. We actually interact with center directly to get our clearance. So that means we tune in the center frequency, which is 134.7 directly. But I still have to do something about that volume because it seems it's a bit low on their end. If I do this, does that increase? No, that's the listen device. Now, how do I increase my volume there? 1 second, guys. Let me try something. I think this needs to be... Is it this one? Test mod.
Number 3866 Quebec, clear deck to Lemur. Lima
Okay.
Echo Mike Oscar Romeo.
I think that's Sheed.
Lemur 3666.
Thanks, Lima X-Ray.
Ticket
Thanks for
107,
being here.
leaving my airspace shortly. New York approach where Kennedy is closed. Radar service terminated.
I'm not so sure,
Good night.
to be honest. Okay, let's see.
One clear deck to Roebuck.
There are some audio levels that are lower, and I think it's normal, right? Because in VATSIM,
Hello, how can I help
they
you?
actually implement that when you have when the aircraft that's calling in is actually away from you, far away from you,
7696 squawk
they implement
4733.
proper attenuation. I'm losing fuel here because I have the APU on, and it's taking from my right tank, so we have a bit more imbalance on the fuel now. So I'll have to balance that out. Right, let's do a radio check again and let's see how it
Sure,
works.
Lemur. Lima Echo Mike Oscar Romeo.
How's the volume, guys, for VATSIM? Is it okay? Let me know if it's too loud or
696
something.
radar contact 5 miles east of the Montauk. Airport climb, or question cleared to Provincetown Airport asphalt, climb and maintain 7,000.
Boston Center Challenger 651 Charlie Lima, radio check, please.
Loud and clear.
Thank you. Okay, now it's good.
7696, let's see, Providence 3003. Number 3866 Quebec, cross
What am I going to say?
at and maintain 6,000. Newark altimeter 3008.
Oh my goodness. Okay, let's balance things out here. Alright. I'm hearing someone. Maybe there is someone in the vicinity. Sure sounds like it.
I-41 Boston,
Okay.
good evening, climb and maintain about 330.
I think there's no use delaying. Let's just jump in with both feet. Let's go and get our clearance. Boston Center, good evening. Challenger 651 Charlie Lima requesting IFR to Toronto Pearson International.
651 Charlie Lima, Boston Center, cleared to the Toronto Pearson Airport via the Manchester 1 departure. Radar vectors Cambridge, set as filed. Maintain 3000, squawk 4724.
Challenger 651 Charlie Lima is cleared to Toronto Pearson via the Manchester 1 departure. Vectors to Cambridge, then as filed. Initial altitude 3,000 feet, squawk 4724.
651 Charlie Lima, read back correct. Advise ready to taxi. Expect runway, second runway 24.
Expecting runway 24, thank you. Challenger 651 Charlie Lima. Okay, we got that down at least. Let's see. bit by bit, we'll get there. Okay, we have a fuel imbalance. We have been warned that we are still transferring the fuel, so we got a bit over. 2480 now on the left, 2510 on the right. That's okay. All right, expect runway 24 is what we were told. So let's go ahead and plug that in here as well. Okay. Where do I put that? Okay, now let's put in all the stuff that we have been told, that we have been cleared. So let's go and plug in the squawk 4724. I don't think we'll need another frequency. We'll be staying with him. We have been cleared to 3,000 feet. So we put that as our initial altitude. And then we can now plug in the flight plan because now we have our clearance. Thank you, Gary. My voice is shaking all over the place.
FMS flight plan.
But we somehow communicated. Alright, FMS flight plan. Let's go ahead and plug that in. Let's go and activate this one. Execute. For departure, we've been told to expect runway 24, the Manchester 1 departure. So let's execute that. And for the legs page, so you can see we are going to be climbing 670 feet and then expect radar vectors exactly as what the controller said. That's why there is a discontinuity because the plane does not know how do we get to Cambridge, the VOR. That's our next leg, but in between these two, the plane does not know, and that's where we will be getting vectors from ATC. So that's okay. Having the discontinuity there is okay. And then what we need to do as well is to put in an approach. Now this one will probably change because I doubt this is really what will be given, but for now I'll put in an LS33 right. So I'm just basing it from what I got from SimBrief with the, was it WOZEE WOZEE transition? Yeah, WOZEE transition. I expect this one to change, and this is absolutely essential for me when you are flying VATSIM, that you can change your flight plan in the middle of the flight without worrying that everything will go to heck, right? Because this is why this is one of my excuses, you could say, why I don't go to VATSIM while I was flying in MSFS, because many of the planes before had a problem with changing the flight plan in the middle, changing our approach, and then suddenly you do a U-turn and all that stuff, and you'd have to do some workaround. So I was very hesitant, and that just added to my excuse. Here with this plane, I have zero excuse because everything works. So yes, it's taking away all my excuses, and I really have to jump in. Alright, let's go. So that looks good. We have the flight plan.
3866 Quebec, contact New York approach 128.55. Have a good day.
Sorry, I didn't go loud.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a bit strange. Sorry guys, I'm not sure how to modulate that better. We'll figure it out as we go. For now, maybe just lower the volume a bit. Alright, CDU2 and
Boston, United 41 Heavy. Yeah, if you're not too busy, request off frequency for 2 minutes. United 41, climb, maintain, but also 370, let me know when you're back. 370, thanks.
Okay, let's lower it like that, maybe that works. So in this plane as well, all of the CDUs are really their individual components. They do their own computations, they have their own information, and they work independently of each other. So there is no like mirroring of devices. So these are all independent. So we can put in, well, this is flight plan is here. We can put in the index route menu, get the wind update, send, And so what that does is, you can see we have the legs here, right, for our flight plan. But if you look at the leg winds, it doesn't really have information yet on what the winds will be when we get to those waypoints. So what we did was to request the winds from online. I don't know where that is, but it gets that, and then it takes a while, and then we get it afterwards. And while that's loading, we do our performance in it. We'll be cruising today at flight level 400. Oh, there we go. That's it. DL winds updated, so you can see now winds present for the waypoints in here, right? There you go. Cool. So that looks good. In here, what we'll do, we have 3 passengers today. We are going to clear the calc fuel so that it senses the fuel we have. Execute. There we go. So no more fuel warning because it has the right information of what fuel we have. And then I think that's okay. VNAV setup. I have some defaults in here. This is a high-speed climb. This is consistent with the sim brief profile for the climb, the cruise, and the descent. Thank you for the craft acronym for clearance. Yes, thank you, Lima X-Ray. Really helps a lot. Alright, and then I got the weather here. So we actually have 290 at 6 for the winds. Temperature is -1. And altimeter is actually 3001. So we'll have to adjust that here as well. 3001. Is that consistent with the airfield elevation? Let's have a look at the chart. Airport elevation should be, let's see.
Boston Center 26 Juliet. Juliet's with you at 12,000. 26 Juliet, Boston Center, hello, Bradley, altimeter 3001.
And you're close enough, yes. 3001 looks reasonable. So let's move that up. 3001. Alright, we have the takeoff information 112121. Looks good. Send that
Takeoff
up.
data.
Takeoff data, that's the one we just did.
Avionics and charts.
Avionics and charts, yes. And that automatically loads the charts here based on the flight plan that you set. Supposedly. 1 second, I think I'm doing something wrong. I hope I didn't do something wrong. 1 second. Did something change with my settings? That is the data knob up. Oh yeah. It's the wrong key, I think. No, it's the right one. Okay. So let's have a look at the charts here. Yeah, for some reason the departure did not get the Manchester one departure. So let's get that. There we go. So now we can cycle through the charts. So we've been told to expect runway 24, so that's going to be 237 degrees, right? 237. So let's go ahead and plug that in as well.
And center 1085
I can show you what I'm looking at here. 237, that's the one. Good. And then after departure, yeah, basically expect vectors to Cambridge is somewhere here. So we'll probably be given vectors to turn right at some point. Looks good. But in the meantime, we have initial altitude clearance of 3,000 feet. Okay.
317, leaving my airspace. Toronto is closing. Radar service terminated.
Toronto is closing? No! Alright, flight instruments. Let's go for... Turn on the flight director. Push the takeoff button. Toggle button. So let's go through our flows here. So we do have the needle, so we are in, this is what I was mentioning about the ROS in PPOS mode. When you do your TOS test, it takes you to PPOS, right, like this one. So you have to manually change to ROS mode using the format button right here. That will give you back the needle. Right, FMS1 is active. We have our V speeds 112, 121. The speed bug, we want that to be at 200 knots. And we are in takeoff mode. We will not arm the LNAV because we are expecting radar vectors, so we will switch to heading mode later on. And then 3,000 feet initial altitude, 3001 on the altimeter. That looks good. And over here would be 87.7 max thrust for takeoff based on the calculations by the FMC. Okay.
Part 76906,
Emergency
contact
procedures,
Boston approach
pins,
118.2,
covers,
have a good night.
chocks.
Okay, let's go ahead and remove the chocks.
Cabin lights, water heater, flight compartment checklist complete.
Player
Engine
1,
start
contact
checklist
Boston
next.
approach
Engine start
133.0, have a good
checklist.
night.
Doors.
Alright, doors.
Parking brake and
good.
pressure.
Parking, brake, and pressure. Oh, one thing we haven't done yet. You guys
Fuel
remember?
quantity
The
and balance.
de-icing. Crap, that will take a while. Okay, but yeah, that's part of the equation. So let's start our engines and then let's do that. Fuel quantity and balance. That's good.
Hello, squawk 4726.
Beacon can go on.
On. Fuel boost pumps.
Fuel boost pumps will go on.
Ignition.
Ignition will go on.
Armed. Engine 2 start.
And this is the cool thing. Yeah, you saw it a while ago. There's actually hand signals.
Welcome back, squawk
Engine 2, start.
4753.
And then the guy will actually check if you have some covers on, if there's something blocking the way. There's none. So now we can actually start engine 2. There we go. Let's go ahead and monitor that. 20%. Introduce fuel. Engine starting to heat up. And we'll know it's a good engine when we have 246.
Fuel
Oil
system.
pressure is a bit high because oil temperature is low. Let's hope that normalizes in a bit. That's a bit scary. Let's give it some time. Yeah, ITT is a bit low. It's a bit cold. Maybe it just needs some time to warm up. Alright, looks good. We'll turn off the fuel pressure, the fuel pump. And we will wait for the indication that there's the left has a low pressure. That looks good. Turn that back on. That's true.
Engine 1 start.
That's true. Right, engine 1 start. Let's wait for the guy to signal. Looking good. Alright. N2. Introduce fuel. I'm a bit scared about that oil temperature being that cold. That is pretty scary. I hope I did not miss
Engine
that.
start checklist complete. After start checklist next.
Good. Engine 1 looks better.
After start checklist. Generator 1 and 2.
Generator on.
On. Check.
Turn off the
AC and
ignition.
DC.
Turn on
Ignition.
the 14th stage.
Disarmed. Pass. On. 14th stage. Open.
Okay, oil temperature is starting to
anti-ice.
heat up on engine 2. That's good. Here, let's check.
On. Check
There you
45 seconds.
Start the
Flight
timer.
controls.
Flight control. So let's go to flight controls here and check our controls. Elevator, aileron. You can see the rudder also slightly moving. Rudders. Looks good.
Ground spoilers.
Ground spoilers. Disarm, auto arm. That goes up. Go back to auto. That goes down.
Flight spoilers.
Flight spoilers. Full extension halfway. And then full retraction. Looks good.
Cal anti-ice.
Cowl anti-ice, we are waiting for it to go. Yeah, cowl anti-ice is on. You can see the indicators there.
Supplemental ground wing anti-ice.
Supplemental grounding anti-ice, so let's turn that
Test
on.
on. Fuel balance.
Fuel balance is still good.
Trims.
Trims, I want 5.0 in the stab trim, like there. Aileron and rudder all
No
in the
steer.
center. No steer is on.
Our ADG unit.
One thing we missed, APR ADG unit, we test this one. So the light there should disappear after 2 seconds. There you go.
Supplemental ground wing anti-ice.
And then we are waiting for this guy to turn green. That will happen around the 2-minute mark. So let's just wait for a bit. And while that's happening, actually, we can start thinking about de-icing. So we have some procedures for that. If you go to the printable checklist,
radar contact 1 miles southeast of the Block Island Airport,
that
Providence
one.
altimeter 3003.
Spray de-icing, so we have to do some things. Thrust reverser stowed, we have to turn off our packs. We have to turn off our, let me open that here. We have to turn off our 10th stage bleed air so that these guys and the wing anti-ice, cowl anti-ice are off. 14 stage. Okay, but this one looks good.
Cowl anti-ice.
Turn off the cowl anti-ice as well.
Off. Wing anti-ice.
There we go.
North. 14 stage isolation valve.
1 second. I'm just checking through this one here. There's one.
Wing anti-ice.
Takes a while.
Checked. Off. ATS.
That didn't open because we had our bleeds off. Let's go and do that first. 1 second. And my ATS actually got disarmed for some reason. Anyway, let's go ahead and call in the de-icing. So it's 136.92.5 is it? Something like that, I think. Let's see if we can call them up.
Go ahead,
go.
cockpit.
So de-ice only, wings and tail.
Roger.
There they are. So we have everything off. Wing anti-ice, cowl anti-ice, 14 stage, flaps are up. Yes, okay. And then we advise them that they're ready for
Ground
spray.
to
And then
cockpit.
after they're
Starting
done, we
de-icing
turn on
using
back the
SAE
packs.
Type 1 fluid on your wings and tail.
And I guess it kind of makes sense because they're de-icing, they're spraying some fluids, some stuff outside. You don't want to be sucking that into the plane, so you turn off your packs. That kind of makes sense if you put it that way. Let's see. So there is one thing here we can do for fun. Ground services, we can actually sit in the de-icer cab and watch the de-icing happen. It actually gets rid of the icing we've seen in the beginning as we were doing our walk around. And this guy will go around and spray on the wings, on the tail, so it will take some time. Let's get back here. Alright. Now I think what I can do is I can actually turn on track IR. Let me see if I'm missing anything. Let's go ahead and monitor the center frequency 34.7 COM2. And let's turn on COM2 so we can also still listen.
178.
There we go. This one will take a while. What else?
178, radar contact 10 miles west of Hancock, hotel number kilo, maintain level 350.
Yeah, it's a bit buggy. The volumes are a bit buggy. They're the same level, but sometimes it's just switching. Strange.
And at 147 vectors, actually, you know what, Air Canada 147 resume normal speed.
I'm not sure why I don't have ETS there for N1 takeoff. 1 second.
2306, clear deck J fund.
Clear deck J fund, American 107.
Now we are good here. Fuel pressure, oil pressure, and temperature are normal. Okay, that's good. No more high pressure because the temperature got warmer. So the oil is now circulating much better, and that's lowering that's heating up enough, I guess. So the pressure looks good now. I'm missing something though. Something is different. The reversers are not armed, and that isn't listed there. Interesting. I wonder if I broke the plane. Sure hope not. Maybe I need the bleeds for that. I didn't think I would, but okay, let's wait for the de-icing to finish and then let's do stuff. But even the ATS is disabled, so that's pretty interesting. We have the parking brake on. Back door is closed. That guy is on the right wing now, so he's almost finished. That should be okay. Maybe in the meantime, let's go ahead and study our taxi route. So we're here in signature. So I expect we'll be given taxi instructions. Hotel Juliet to runway 24. Right, Hotel Juliet, hold short, runway 24. Looks good. 237. Yeah, that makes sense. Let's see how that goes. Looking good.
Taxi 1A Boston, good evening, squawk 4732.
And then we'll troubleshoot
Route to
later.
cockpit. De-icing is complete. Surfaces are clean.
Thank you.
November 69er X-ray, leaving 1.
Right, let's close that and let's switch back to center and COM 1.
November 69er X-ray, Boston, good evening, climb and maintain level 400. Climb flight level 400, 69 X-ray.
I think I have to refresh the
147,
volume so it
just have
kicks
the
in.
frequency for, or sequence 2 in with a couple other arrivals. Turn left,
Right,
left,
that
heading
looks good. So let's go for the after spray de-icing checklist. So let's go
radar
with
contact,
thrust.
70 miles
14
southwest of
stage,
Hancock,
lead
Hotel number
air
kilo.
on.
Which X level 310 or 290? I think we'll have to do 290 for now. We did now. We'll make 320 tight line. Alright, sounds good. Descend and maintain level 290. Descend and maintain 290 tight line.
1 second, not that. These two. Then turn on the packs.
Market 2306, descend via the J Fund at 2 arrival. Runway 27, Boston altimeter 3004.
That looks good. Okay, that looks good. Now we have the reversers armed again, and
178, clear direct seat.
but the N1 takeoff still not there. So 1 second.
N1
There we go.
TO.
Now we have N1
ATC
TO.
TCAS.
Just have to cycle the flight director and then press the
178,
takeoff
clear direct
button
seat.
again. Okay, let's go for the
West 32, contact Boston approach 133.0, good night.
Next.
133.0, have good night.
So weird how that volume is going. Alright,
Taxi checklist. Taxi lights.
let's turn on our taxi lights.
On. Wing and cow
Center elevator
anti-ice.
contact, be with you just a moment.
Brakes and steering.
Okay, let's go and request taxi. Let's go and turn on the chart here as well.
508, turn right direct Cambridge, climb and maintain 9,000.
That's what I expect we would be given, something like that instruction. Center Challenger 651 Charlie Lima, ready to taxi.
651 Charlie Lima, runway 34, taxi via Hotel Juliet.
Runway 24 via Hotel Juliet. 651 Charlie Lima. Good. Alright, so it's as we expected. Let's go and release the parking brake. And off we go.
Good evening, Boston. Center, this is gig 180. Where would you like me to go if I would like to make an IFR?
Oh, nice to hear actually
But
other people, real people, different voices,
That's the best person to contact. If you don't see
different
them, try restarting your
proficiencies.
pilot client, like B-Pilot or X-Pilot,
And there's that like radio quality voice.
The connection and show them.
All of them, quite nice. Steering, brakes, looks
Reverse
good.
thrust.
Reverse thrust, let's go and test that it works. It does. Looking good, it arms, it's active. And now let's press the ATS disconnect to get back to N1TO.
549 Boston Center,
If
hello,
taxiing
radar
the
contact,
de-ice,
climb
pause
and maintain
checklist here
7,000.
until paper de-ice
Hear your
checklist
own
is complete.
voices. Oh my goodness, you don't need VATSIM for that, huh?
Flaps.
Flaps,
Altimeter.
20. Good.
Set and cross-check. Radar weather.
4,000 feet.
On. Takeoff
425
briefing.
Boston Center, good evening, climb and maintain below 240. Maintain 240, vision.
Taxi checklist complete.
Why
Before
take
takeoff
comparison?
checklist next.
Good, good. Alright, let's go taxi for now. Once we get near the runway, then we can start setting up
Fluid
for
1 at
takeoff.
78, descend via the J Fund at 2 arrival. runway 27, Boston altimeter 3007.
Send via the J from 2 arrival, runway 27, and copy the altimeter JetBlue 178.
Good. Alright, so how do we do our takeoff? Well, we line up on the runway. We have our ATS armed here, so we line up on the runway, we push forward the throttle. ATS will activate after it reaches a certain percent of the throttle, like maybe around 80% forward or something like that. And we push forward on the yoke just a bit.
Just try switching to the frequency 128.8.
Verify that airspeed is moving. And then we monitor for V1 rotate. If it doesn't move, if something goes wrong before V1, we pull back on the throttle, we disarm ATS. 1 second, what happened to my ATS there? 1 second.
I'm at the correct airport.
Yeah, I'm not sure how to help with this.
I got lost the... There we go, N1 takeoff just
549
disappeared
showing
on me.
runway heading.
Negative, sir.
We pull back on the throttle, full reversers full, spoilers extend, full braking, and stop. If we are after V1, then we continue to V2, which is 134, and we'll see if we have to go around the airport from there. Alright, that I guess is
Before takeoff
good enough.
Passenger signs. Advise on anti-collision light. On. Probes. On. Windshield heat. On.
Let's let the first officer take care of all of that.
Got a 147, turn right heading 110.
Continuous ignition.
Right heading 110,
On.
got a 147.
ATC TCAS.
Legion 425, climb and maintain
Yeah, it
Supplemental
disarms on its
groundwing
own.
anti-ice panel.
Interesting.
Check. CAS. Takeoff config OK.
Oh, 1 second, that is not okay. There we go. That's good.
Landing pulse recog lights. On. Before takeoff checklist complete. After takeoff checklist next.
Alright, that looks good. Just waiting for the frequency to lighten up a bit.
Nice and right at Cambridge.
Go check the legs page in here. We probably will be given something along those lines.
Wind 3109, runway 24, cleared for takeoff.
Cleared for takeoff, runway 24, Challenger 651 Charlie Lima. Good. We actually didn't have to call him. Goodness.
I'm currently 189 nautical miles.
So we will be climbing to 3,000 feet only. Right? I will be enabling the autopilot as soon as we go up. As soon as it is safe. Because I will need all the brain power in talking with ATC. So please bear with me if I don't hand fly today. Boo! Alright, line up. Wind's coming from the right. A little bit of aileron. ATS is active, looking good. Airspeed's alive. 80 knots. N1 hold. V1. Rotate. Positive rate. Gear up. Above VF2. Flaps up. Engaging autopilot. Looking good. Let's go for heading mode. Flight level change.
226, sorry about that, my audio crash, go ahead.
250 knots.
226, thank you, maintain 4,000 higher shortly. 4,000, carry 26. 549, any luck with Cambridge? Head that way, Camp 549.
Cambridge is a bit far there.
Got a 147, turn right heading 180.
So now we're leveling up at 3,000 feet.
651, Charlie Lima, radar contact, say altitude.
3,000 feet. 237 on the heading. Challenger 651 Charlie Lima.
Charlie, question number 651 Charlie Lima, thank you. Turn right direct Cambridge, climb and maintain 10,000.
Right direct Cambridge, climb 10,000, 651 Charlie Lima.
Okay, 147, descend and maintain level 240.
Right, so let's go direct Cambridge. Oh, I should have reported to him, I see. Direct Cambridge, nav mode. And then let's go 10,000. But the trick here is we actually have to, instead of just pressing FLC, we have to actually pitch up a bit. So I'll remove alt mode, I'll pitch up. And then when we're properly climbing, then I will engage FLC. Because if I just engage FLC, it will shoot past 250 knots. I think it's too powerful for that. So maybe let's go something like that. Good. Pitch mode. And now I guess we can go FLC. Alright, now let's do the after takeoff checks.
After takeoff checklist.
Hey, Sagi.
Landing gear.
Thanks for making it.
Up. Flaps.
We're good, we're good.
0. Thruster research. Off. Ignition. Off. Pressurization. Checked. PAX transition.
Hey, shipwreck, yes indeed. Enhanced sky escapes. The best clouds I've seen with the fair performance trade-offs.
Climb set. APU generator. Off. APU.
Let's go and
Passenger
wear our
sounds.
headset so we can listen to ATC properly. That's one of the downsides of explain. Flight level 230, 651 Charlie Lima. Okay.
Care 429, heading 090. Heading 090, Care 429. 806, climb and maintain 9,000.
Looking good, and now we're above 10,000 feet.
9,000, Care 209.
Turn off the lights
425, climb
there.
and maintain level 360.
Passenger signs can go to auto. And then we can arm VNAV. We can then go and resume our planned speeds for climb. Let's go to FLC mode. There we go. Now we're climbing in earnest. Good.
181 leaving my airspace. Moncton's closed.
After
Radar
takeoff
service
checklist
terminated.
complete.
Change of food. Have a good day.
Is that for us? Let's wait for him to call in again. Good. Oh, it's so quiet with the headset, huh?
And at 147, clear direct J-Fund.
Direct J-Fund there, Canada 147.
American 2306, contact Boston, approach 133.0, good night.
Do we have anyone in ATC? On TCAS rather? Should actually see that. Now here, we can actually do a memory 3 over here. So we get a bigger map for my settings and then zoom out so we can see the entire flight plan. Like so.
35107 Boston, good evening, squawk 4722.
Now we are getting checked airport outside air temperature because we have temperature compensation. So we need to plug in the temperature over at the arrival airport. Flight level 400, 651 Charlie Lima. Nice. 400.
35107 radar contact.
The only thing I don't like is you don't hear the clicking anymore of the knobs when you have your headset on. 400 set on the altitude selector, and you can see it's blinking as well. So you have to switch to standard altimeter setting. There you go.
American 690 radar contact 160 miles east of Boston.
So let's plug in the outside air temperature of -12 in Toronto. Goodness, that is cold.
Long time
There we go, execute. So now the warning is gone. Because what it does is if you look over here, there will be some C. I thought initially, what is copyright? That's C. Apparently that's compensation, temperature compensation. So if we compare that over here, turn on our charts and then go to the arrival. If you look at the approach, at CYYZ, where is that? This one, or is it YYZ? 1 second, huh? This one. Agbec. Okay, this one, Agbec first. Agbec at 3998. And then ZYZ. Can't find where that is, but that is around 4 miles away from the runway. It might be this one, I'm not sure. Am I looking at the right chart? ILS 33 right. Yeah, it should be. 110. 1 second, let me try and find it. You guys see it? There's a Zulu, Yankee, Zulu. Queensway, that is Queensway? Thank you. So it says here 1960 feet, but you can actually see it's 2101 here because we have temperature compensation. You have to be a bit higher from the altimeter so that it lands us right at that that altimeter, that altitude in real life.
552 radio check. 22 to set maintain 2,500. 2,500 radio check.
Looking good. Zoom in a bit.
5107, let's see here. I know it's a little bit early, but for now, expect the ILS 1833 approach. Let me know if you want something different. Expecting
WOZEE. So this is our transition from WOZEE. The first restriction we have is at SEDAB. So we have WOZEE, Easton, Ling, and then Murky. That doesn't look right. Murky, Redod. I think this is the wrong chart. Yeah, this is a bit confusing. Even Navigraph confused this one. You can see.
Number 26, Juliet, can I get
this is Ling 3, right? But you can see the runway is different. Should be runway 33, right? So what we should do is map it somewhere different. So let's open it. Oh crap, what did I do? APR in up. Oh crap. Okay. Let's go ahead and engine. Happened with our engine? 1 second, I think I clicked something bad. I hope I didn't. Crap. Let's disengage. Let's turn that on again. There we go, it's back. Okay, APR is in op. Y. Let's own that here. Maybe you can cycle that. I'm not sure what that is. Goodness. That's not good. Is fighting Delta. Yeah, Challenger 650. Challenger 650. Oh, actually see, there's an aircraft right in front of us. 310, around 40 miles.
69 X-ray leaving by airspace. New York Center is closed. Radar service. You know what? Actually, never mind. Stay with me. 69 X-ray.
CYYZ is the NDB. Ah, thank you guys. Right. So we'll need to troubleshoot this because I think I clicked something. Yeah, look at that. That's not even at all. Let's go ahead and disarm that. Okay. It's a bit weird, isn't it?
3242.
I wonder what I clicked.
The altitude, maintain for 300.
Maintain for level 300 or another 3242.
Let's try and turn it on. Yeah, look at that. The second one is not working. Second one is not working, but actually it is. Yeah, it's at 97. Yeah, Yeah, so that one is not really aligned, is it? They click something, you guys? What do you see?
Boston Center, this is
Oh, engine speed. There you go. That's the one. Okay. Now that's working. Okay. Problem solved. I picked the engine speed here for the right hand side. Okay, good. Alright, so I don't think there is anything wrong with it now. I think we're good. Oh, sorry, I was a bit behind with chat. Thank you for the help, guys. Looks normal for Bombardier.
8353 Boston Center, hello, fly, maintain photo 300.
No comment.
Flight level 30,
Alright, let's go ahead. Turn track areas, it's less confusing. So this is what I was referring to. It's looking at the wrong runway because supposedly, if you look this one, ILS runway 33 right actually has mini. How do I choose that?
Cross crank, add and maintain 7,000. Need work altimeter 3010.
I think if I use the small wheel, there we go. ILS 33 right.
At or above 7,000. And say altimeter again. That's 7,000. Altimeter 3010.
Maybe this is not compatible. 11-10. Okay.
22 heading 010.
Oh no, it was the approach that we were missing, right? Yeah, it was the approach.
Over Kennedy to center maintain, but 270.
It was the approach is okay, it's the arrival that is wrong. Yes.
Maintain 270.
So this guy, runway 0506, we actually have to pick that. We have to pick that.
Step on someone else.
Link 33 left right, this guy. 10-2 D3. There we go. So now if you look here, that's from WOZEE, Easton, Ling, and you can see the restriction there, 220 knots, 7,000 feet, that looks good. And then Murky, Redod, Agbek. Yes, looks good. Okay, perfect.
Boston Center, November 221, Tango Bravo, we're on the ground in Kentucky, we're ready for taxi.
Hey, Ray for this. Thanks for lurking. Thanks for speaking. And yes, very refreshing. X-Plane has a lot of limitations, but it is also very superior in many ways when it comes to just the simulation aspect of things. Look at that headwind, guys. That is not a headwind you would want to have. 120 knots. Yeah, that's true, Sky Team. I enjoy MSFS very much, especially for VFR. But yes, when it comes to the actual IFR flying, the plugins, the integration, the platform as a whole, X-Plane really shows how mature it is. So I think for me personally, a mix of both is good depending on my mood. Thanks for the follow, Tofaz and Sky Team Delta. Welcome, guys. Oh yes, looking forward to X-Plane 12, definitely.
Leaving my airspace. New York approach is closed. Radar service terminated. Frequency change approved. Good night. 6 Juliet, Unicom. Good night.
Toronto Center is still online. Okay, that's good. Toronto approach, I think, disappeared, but Center at least is still online. Yes.
5609 to set a maintain final with 230.
Good. Right, so over here, top of climb is actually pretty near. We are pretty close, indeed. Look at that climb speed, 900. 1,000 feet per minute. Very slow because we're very fast already. Normally the climb would be at 0.72, not 0.72 or something like that. But it's not bad. We can manage.
Crank, add and maintain 7,000. Newark altimeter 3010.
It will eventually get there. So top of climb is there. Top of descent is in 200 miles, but we can double check that. If you go to MFD data in here, that shows up there. And you can go display menu, the flight plan progress. You can also check the iris status, right?
7 miles from P2.
Or the iris is working. So that's perfect when you want to see how long it takes for the iris to align. You go through here. Flight plan progress, top of climb coming in 1 minute. Top of descent coming in 173 miles. That's 40 minutes from now. We'll see if that changes. So we can keep this view, and then we can expect that we arrive in Toronto with 30,300 gross weight. That's in pounds. With 2,000 pounds left. Cool. Fears am I facing tonight? Well, VATSIM basically. I guess I'm very much a VATSIM noob. My hands have been sweaty all throughout. Like I kind of know what I need to do, but it doesn't prevent me from getting nervous. So, it's always going to VATSIM is always a big challenge for me mentally. I have to internalize quite a lot and prepare as much as I can to fight the nervousness. Thanks, Sky Team. Appreciate the encouragement. That was scary though. The first time that happened to me, when you turn off the engine speed switches, actually cannot control the engine speed. It's a bit strong feedback. You can also look at the cabin altitude, 6,200.
609, sorry, I can hear everything behind you except for you. Charlie Gosling, Mr. Oscar is only shorted to 4 at Alpha at Nantucket.
Goodness. Okay, let's have a look. Let's prepare for this. Let's go and open the chart here. Airport elevation is 569 in Toronto, so let's go ahead and set that up. 569 would be somewhere like, do you guys see it? No, I'm covering it, am I? Not, yeah, this one. So it's a bit analog, but yeah, that's 0, that's 1000, so 569 is somewhere in there probably. Just a little adjustment, and that will adjust the cabin pressure as well. So that by the time we land in Toronto, the delta P, the difference in pressure outside versus inside the plane will be 0. And now that we're in cruise, it actually automatically moved to Mach 0.82. That's going to be our cruising speed. And we are now at our cruising altitude, finally.
600 for 2,000. Once number 221 Tango Bravo, radar contact, turn right, heading 300, climb and maintain 6,000. Heading 300, climb, maintain 6,000.
Just listening to this is just amazing, right?
Oscar, fly runway heading, runway 24, clear for takeoff. Runway 24, clear for takeoff.
You know what I'm planning? Because oftentimes...
27, radar contact, 30 miles northeast
lower the volume here.
Kennedy, climb and maintain final with 210.
Fly and maintain 210 flight level.
Ah, I see what it is. I know what it is now. Remember why we always get that weird volume in the beginning? That's because this one...
Remember, 430 Delta Mike didn't come through, so let's do it this way. What's your aircraft type?
Because this is 100%, right? 100% like that. So even if I lower my volume in the settings in Xpilot right here, I'm saying 30%. When I switch to a frequency, it resets this to 100%. And so what I need to do is align these two. If I want it at 30%, I actually have to put this at 30% as well, so that that's always the volume. Okay, now it's clear. But yeah, it's great to see that this is actually working, right? The volume, turning on and on the comms, it's pretty cool.
Boston Center, carry 31, 2,100 climbing 4.
Yeah, I haven't tried that yet, Sky Team. That will be amazing. Yeah, the cross the pond events or all those group flights. My goodness. Because I follow the VATSIM pages, I see the happenings, but yeah, I've never tried it. So let's lower the volume here. And what was I saying? And of course I forgot what my train of thought was now.
That's why I'm asking you these questions. What is your destination? Please spell it.
Our destination is Caleb, Echo, Romeo, India, Erie.
What's the altitude?
8,000.
So my mistake a while ago,
What's your requested route?
when I took off. So when I took off, I was waiting for him to contact me, right? But I should have been thinking in normal aviation sense, like I was talking with tower, he was acting as tower, right? Even though I'm tuned into the same frequency, he was like tower at that point when I was taking off. So he was tower then, and when I took off, I should have switched to departure or center. So I should have reported to him, like center Challenger 651 Charlie Lima, 3,000, 2,000 climbing 3,000, something like that, and then he would give me radar contact. But I did not contact him. So what he eventually did was he reached out to me and asked me about my altitude, which I fumbled around, but it got the message across somehow, so that's good. But yeah, that's a learning. So even if it's the same frequency, I should simulate that it's a different controller and should report accordingly. Good. Skip cross the pond. Crossfire events. I would like that. The main thing I have trouble with is finding time to fly. So the long flights is not really good for me. So it's if there are these events that are shorter, that's what I would want to focus on. And mainly in the US, because I only have orthophotos in the US mainly. And I would want to do it in this plane so that it's as reliable as possible. Oh, this is nice, the volume control actually works. Right, top down. So we were talking with center, but they were acting as ground and tower. Right, makes perfect sense. Actually, they started as clearance delivery, right? And then ground and then tower, and then departure and then center. Cool. Interesting. Right, looking good here. Shall we take off the headset? It's a bit noisy, but pretty realistic. Just the white noise in there. But yeah, it does make it harder to communicate with ATC, so I'll put it on. Now, I would want to have a look at Volanta. Maybe let's have a look at Volanta. So here we are at the moment. All these planes, right? All the white icons for planes, they are in VATSIM. And that's us, the purple guy there. Contract from DC. Thanks again. Thanks, Sky Team. Appreciate that, man. Catch you soon. And yes, stay safe. Cool. So yes, I'm expecting at this point, when we get near the border of Boston Center, we'll probably be either told to move to Unicom, or maybe they'll be kind and switch us right over to Toronto Center. I don't know how it works, but we'll keep an ear out when we get close here. Hey, by the way, if you want to add me, the Clumsy Geek at Volanta, so we can see each other in flights. Corwink, thank you for adding. There you go. We have a look at the chart again. I was looking for something. D80s. Oh yeah, it has D80s. Let's go and test it out. Let's go and test this thing out. So if an airport has D80s, we should be able to go to data link, ATIS, and then arrival ATIS is what we want because we are arriving at this airport, and we'll just plug in the airport in there. Send. Takes a while, and we should get the ATIS, and then we can just repeat that later when we get near. Okay, ATIS. There we go. What is that? J question 0100 Zulu. Okay. But yes, we can put in 0100. 330 at 7. So more or less the winds have changed just a bit. Still 15 statute miles, so that's good. Scattered 180. The clouds are getting thicker and getting lower. A while ago it was few clouds at 200. Flight level 200. Temperature is mostly the same, -12, -19. 3023 would be the altimeter. Okay. Approach is ILS runway 24 right. Departure runway 23. Okay, so actually I should set this up. Advise you have information Juliet. So we have in that J question is Juliet. That J is Juliet, and then question is it doesn't know which date it is. So let's put Juliet in here. We have information Juliet. And yes, this is a very interesting, this is a very useful thing, right? Approach is ILS runway 24. So we should actually punch in runway 24 already, if we could. Should we? I guess that would be more prudent, right? If VATSIM is simulating how it looks in real life, which I would imagine they would as much as possible, then runway 24 would make a lot more sense. So what we can do is have a look here. Is it 24 right? Let's double check. 24 right. Okay, runway 24 right is this guy right here.
2116 descent via the Ocean 5 arrival, runway 27.
The only disadvantage is runway 24 right is very far away from the FBO. Signature FBO is on the opposite side of the airport, so we'll have quite a bit of taxiing to go. But I guess that's okay. I mean, if it is realistic, why not? So let's go and set that up already. So we're prepared. Arrival ILS 24 right with the Ling 3. Arrival on the WOZEE departure. 1 second. Ling 3 arrival with the WOZEE transition. Execute. So now if you go to the legs page, there's that discontinuity again between the WOZEEs. We'll just paste that in, combine them together, and we should have a nice flight plan from there. Ideally. So let's see. Yeah, over here if we go for MFD advance. If we go to plan mode in here, if I can see the buttons at least. If we go for
please listen more carefully. Cross lobby at and maintain 11000.
I can't find it. 1 second, guys. Lower format. There we go. In plan. Okay. So we can zoom in, and then we can have a look. Next waypoint, Easton, Ling, Youth, and now it's runway 24. And I think maybe we can expect vectors there. We'll study it, but now it's plugged in runway 24 right would be the approach. Good. So now we can go back to lower format, EPOS, and then zoom out again. Cool. Hey, thank you for the follow. That guy Frost, welcome to the stream. Sorry, I was a bit busy there.
7527, descend and maintain 1000, Boston altimeter 3007.
Top of descent coming in around 20 minutes, plus minus depending on what the controller gives us. We can descend earlier or later depending on the instructions, so we'll see how it goes. Cool.
Seabird 7527.
Yes, one thing I wanted to say. This is one of the limitations I have. I always want to try VATSIM, but I'm scared and I don't have much time usually. And normally when you fly VATSIM, you need to have that time allocated, right? You cannot fast forward the flight or anything. And oftentimes when Mrs. Clumsy is here, I'm a bit hesitant to wear on headphones, full focus. So it's a bit hard for me. But I think I'm finding an alternative. I can actually do something like how do you say?
Descend at pause discretion, maintain 1000, Bangor altimeter 2999.
That's not us, don't worry. So I can actually go online on VATSIM, but set it up to have voice or receive only. So I can still hear the controllers, but if I don't have access to my mic, I can type instead. I can type my acknowledgements. Or I can even go full text, and they accept that, they work with that. It's going to be a bit slower, going to be a bit less efficient, but it will be more compatible with noisy environments and when you have other people. So I hope I can get on VATSIM more often.
I know, sir, I'm not picking up, sir.
Thanks, Mechanical. Yeah, it's amazing.
When able.
Definitely a different experience.
That will maintain 250 when able and your super direct Syracuse.
Oh, clouds.
430 Delta Mike, sorry.
Goodness. Negative 51 outside, so I don't think we need anti-ice. I'm not so sure if that's the that's how you work with the anti-ice here, but my goodness, we haven't actually looked outside yet, have we? Let's go and check it out while we have some time. Take some photos. I'm going out. It's going to get a bit noisy. Hang tight.
We're
Not
at
too bad.
7527. Contact Boston approach 133.0. Good night.
Doesn't look half bad, does it?
Contact 133.0.
Challenger 651 Charlie Lima, descend and maintain flight level 320.
Descend and maintain flight level 320, Challenger 651 Charlie Lima. Oh.
Plus 809, descend via the Roebuck 3 arrival.
What
Runway
happened?
27, Boston on altimeter 30.
Are we getting icing or something? Okay. I'm scared. I'm going to turn on anti-ice now. 320. What the heck was that? Thunderstorm maybe? I have no idea. It didn't look like it. 320. It's going to descend.
Golf Lima Sierra Oscar, contact Boston approach 133.0. Have a good night.
I wonder why they gave us such an early descent. Top of descent is still not for 100 miles.
Bravo, contact Boston approach 133.0. Have a good night.
I wonder what they're planning for us. Go for maybe 1,500 feet per minute.
Air 279, what's your airspeed?
Should be fair.
161 indicated, sir.
Okay, that should work for now. Thank you.
Good. That was scary, that left and right. Goodness, so many firsts happening in this flight. Maybe... I don't know, maybe they know of the weather problems in here. But yeah, definitely keeping my anti-ice on for these clouds.
Challenger 651, Charlie Lima, contact Toronto Center 125.77. Good night.
2577, good night. 651 Charlie Lima. 2577. I got that right.
Delta 4, Delta, and you can enter Delta Papa cross runway 33 right.
Okay, we'll taxi Delta 4, Delta, enter Delta Papa.
Yeah, looks good. Looks right. Toronto Center, good evening. Challenger 651 Charlie Lima, flight level 382, descending flight level 320.
Caroline 24 Raider, KMHT 465.
For 651 Charlie Lima, Toronto Center, roger, proceed direct Ling.
Direct Ling, 651 Charlie Lima. Nice, shortcut. So we go for Ling, put that here, and go direct, execute. So that's why they were asking us to descend earlier, because they were actually going to give us a huge shortcut. That is amazing. That's something you only get in VATSIM. With Pilot to ATC, you don't get these shortcuts and whatnot, right? Super cool. Now we do have anti-ice for cowl. Wing is taking some time. Let's give it some time. It does take a while. So let's hope that works. Alright, so let's not use that anymore. Let me turn off no, let's keep that there. Okay, good. Let's turn off MFD data, so we have a map here, and I guess we can zoom out a bit. Yeah, but yeah, it helps here, right? When you had the MFD data right here, I could see all of the waypoints. So when we were clear to go direct somewhere, I didn't recognize it, so I looked at this one. What did it sound like, what he said? And it sounded like Ling. That was the closest one, so direct Ling. Okay. So yeah, it's not too bad. We got lucky. Cool. But now that we are descending, might as well get another ATIS if there is something. Check if there's a more updated one. Request, send. And then I took note of the time. We have Juliet. Does it change? No, still Juliet 0100 Zulu, so still what we have. Okay, good. Okay, now it's open. We have wing and cowl anti-ice both on. Good. That should protect us from any icing conditions. Even though it's negative 50 outside, so I don't really think, I'm not sure if we really need it. I'm not so sure.
Toronto Center, hello, clear to Vancouver, AMSEP 6 departure,
Better safe than sorry, I guess.
Depart runway 23, squawk 0502.
Okay, so if we're going direct Ling, that's a bit interesting. Because at Ling, that's where we have that restriction, 220 knots, 7,000 feet. Yeah, that would be interesting how that works out.
125, it's just a requirement with the CFS that you confirm the SID here in Toronto, please. AMSEP 6 departure, Eastern.
Oh, and this is wrong still, because this is still 33 left. So we have to put that in. Chart, upper menu. No. Chart, upper menu. And then select the arrival. Make sure it's the 24 right.
125, thanks for readback, correct. What gate are you sitting there, 173, 174?
So it actually has different vertical constraints now. Ling doesn't have that constraint at 7,000 anymore. It's at Youth where we have that constraint. Very interesting arrival. 250 knots, yeah, exactly. And that's what the FMS is showing. Youth at
125, okay, perfect. Then push your discretion, call me short Alpha Lima for taxi.
Yeah, good. Right, we are past the icing. So let's turn off the wing and cowl anti-ice.
Alright, Canada 465, Charlie 2 for Terminal 1, please.
The 465, taxi Echo, Delta, Alpha, Alpha Lima.
Lower the volume just a tad. They should be giving us further instructions for descent, I would expect. Although not really, because top of descent is still there. Interesting. Okay. We'll see what they have planned for us. Altimeter is 3023 based on information Juliet. This might be a bit too early, but better to have something in there at least. Then we can just fine-tune that later. If you look at the times, we'll get to Toronto in 37 minutes. Maybe while it's still calm, I can call Jenny already. Get her ready for passengers.
Hot start flight support. Jenny speaking. How can we help?
Prepare a van. Thank you.
Ready for you. Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
Always a pleasure. Take care.
Out of 613, wind 3107, clear to land, runway 248. Cleared to land, 24 ready.
24 right, that sounds like Toronto. If that's the same runway we are planning in. That D8 is super helpful. So you actually see what runways are in use in the airport instead of just seeing the weather. Looking good. But yeah, that's one of the main limitations of X-Plane, that sudden change in the weather. I'm hoping that's the one that really changes in X-Plane 12. This is one thing that MSFS is for sure superior. Despite the MSFS inaccuracies with weather recently, it's still much better than how this is in X-Plane. Even with plugins and everything, it's very limited. Okay, top of descent. Let's get back here.
3890, just check the altitude was flight level 410. I'm showing flight level 400.
Turkish 3890, the altimeter is 410 and the barrel set is 3033 Pascal.
You should be on standard 2992.
Okay, we'll change.
This dog is complaining. But it's so cool having real people, right? I'm not the only one having problems. It's nice to see I'm not alone. And then the controllers are very patient with teaching us and adjusting with us. The weather adjusting suddenly again there. Okay, we have... Oh, one thing I forgot to plug in is actually... Active Sky does not have an information on what our route is. Maybe that's why it's flickering so much. Because normally, you should plug in your flight plan in Active Sky XP, and I think it optimizes the weather along your route, so it's a bit more consistent. It's a bit more it's less bumpy, I guess, if it knows where you're going. This looks like MSFS, doesn't it? The clouds here. Very nice. 2 a.m. Have a good night, Chi. Goodness, it's late there. Yes, get well soon, man. Always keeping my fingers crossed for your recovery. Have a good one, man. And thanks for being here as always. Thanks for the resub as well. Ooh, amazing. Amazing, amazing plane. Right. Not hearing anything on the frequency.
Delta 547 when you're ready to descend flight level 240.
So, remember what I was asking a while ago? What they will do? Apparently that's exactly what they did. So even though there is technically a gap in here, because I'm going to Toronto anyway, they actually handed me over from Boston to Toronto, even if there's this gap. It's quite nice. So we're actually here now in Toronto.
4211, fly heading 270, descend 3000.
Although you can see the frequency is different. This is 1193.
270, Delta 4211.
I think there are multiple center frequencies, and this one only sees one.
613 taxi via Echo Delta
So if you look at this one,
cross runway 33 right.
651 Charlie Lima, you have Toronto Center, 2577, this guy. This is where we are, 2577. And the center that's displayed in Volanta is this one, 119.3. Cool. So far, I don't see any other frequency.
Canada 420, ready to check.
Cool. Hey, Game Theorist, a while ago, we were in Boston Center. Yes, we were being controlled by Sheed, I think himself. The man, the myth, the legend. Amazing guy. And he just handed us over to Toronto Center now. These guys are amazing. I don't know how they do it. These controllers are top notch. It's a bit intimidating because you know how good they are, but at the same time they're very patient normally. So I hope they're very patient with us. Let's have a look. Fuel on board. Huh, that's interesting. The estimates actually went down.
You're cleared ILS runway 248.
Although actually that makes sense.
Right?
A while ago when we looked at the estimates, we would have 2,000 pounds on board by the time we land. Now it's only 1810. And that kind of makes sense because if you think about it, we were in flight level 400 a while ago. And we've been asked to descend to 320 early, right? And at 320, you get less fuel economy. So our fuel flow is higher. We consume more fuel at lower altitudes. So that is actually taking 200 pounds away from our fuel because we descended too early. I'm still not sure though why they asked us to descend to 320. Maybe it's a Canada thing. I don't know. Maybe they don't allow that high. I'm not so sure how it works. But maybe someone has inputs. Strange though, getting that descent instruction.
547 descend 7,000, altimeter 3023, plan runway 248.
And then staying here.
Down to 7,000, copy of the altimeter.
Toronto Center now.
24 right, Delta 547.
Up in the air so quickly. It was not quick, Game Theorist. It took us like 1 hour, I think, to get ready. And that was excluding my offline props.
When you're ready, descend level 240.
When ready, descending to flight level 240, 651 Charlie Lima. Okay, but we're not yet ready. I'll wait for that guy. You know what? No, let's put that
Toronto Center, Air Canada 420.
Because I could wait. He did give me the discretion to descend when I'm ready. but just to be on the safe side, let's go and descend maybe just 1,000 feet per minute. 1,000 feet per minute. Descending to flight level 240. And then after we do that, eventually we'll catch up with the top of descent. We will catch up with the V path, and then we'll descend steeper when we get there.
Canada 420, thanks. Read back correct. Push your discretion. Call me ready to taxi. Information Juliet's correct.
Alright,
Juliet, we have
we'll
that.
push at our discretion, call for taxi, Air Canada 42, sir, thanks.
Do they have ATIS in there? I don't think they do. Maybe they do. Oh, they do.
361, you're identifying climb 1000.
Let's try it. 120825. Let's see if it's in range already. 2082. 2082. Let's put that in here. COM2. And then I have COM2 in here. Let's enable COM2.
Temperature -12. Dew point -19er. Altimeter 3023.
It's consistent with the D80s.
ILS runway 24 right.
24 right, that's what we saw. Right?
Runway 23. Inform ATC that you have information, Juliet.
That's Juliet, yeah, we got it. Nice. Oh, that's amazing. That seems amazing.
Direct Durlo on course.
Bronco International Information, Juliet. Weather at 0100 Zulu. Web 330 at 7.
It's exactly. It's exactly. Exactly the one we saw in D80s. It's amazing. Cool. Cool. Okay, so it's exactly as I noted with information Juliet. That's amazing. But it actually is a bit cooler using the frequency, right? If it's there, turning on COM2, listening to it. Oh, that's amazing. Okay. Let's see. Do we need to prepare for approach? The frequencies? I don't think so because I don't think there is any other frequency unless they switch us over to another center frequency.
Discretion 157 is free.
Yeah. They could switch us to 119.3, but I think that's it. So if ever, let's just prepare for it. 19.3, put it in the standby. Just if ever they do that. Cool. So let's go and study this because I haven't studied this one. 24 right. So we have been cleared direct to Ling, and then we'll turn right to Youth.
Information, Juliet's current in Toronto. Descend 1000. Altimeter is 3023. You're landing runway 24 right.
Landing 24 right, 3023. We have Juliet, and descending 11,000. 651 Charlie Lima.
651 Charlie Lima, that's correct. And actually, do you know where you're parking? Are you parking on the north side today, or where are you parking?
Yes, north side, signature FBO, please, if possible.
1 Charlie Lima, no problem. Then you can plan runway 23.
That would be perfect, thank you. Runway 23. 1 Charlie Lima. Oh, that's amazing. He's amazing. That is so cool. Okay, so instead of runway 24, because if you look at the airport diagram, 24 right is all the way here to the south, but where we're parking is right here. Signature FBO is right there where the general aviation area is. That arrow, that's signature FBO. I just googled it. Signature FBO, we have a website. So he told us, well, instead of landing in 24 right, you can just land in 23, so you're closer. And it's amazing, my goodness, something you would not get anywhere else, aside if it's real people you're working with. Okay, so what we do now is we go for ILS 23, we have Ling 3, and then we transition via WOZEE. Let's execute. Alright, and then we are going direct Ling though, so we should be moving to Ling again like so. Execute. I think that looks good. And then let's double check the map. Yeah, still good. Okay, good.
Oscar, Lima, Foxtrot, Toronto Center, cleared to Montreal, dead T4 departure, Miglo.
We've been cleared to 11,000. That's something I forgot. 11,000. So let's move to 11,000 in here. We've been cleared to 11,000, and Top of descent still coming, so we're still descending 1,000 feet per minute. But when the V path intersects us, we'll be descending steeper in a 3-degree descent angle. No one tells me how I'm supposed to fly. Comms program on DCS. Yeah, it's a bit more gung-ho, huh? This one is a bit more organized. That's true. Alright, let's have a look. Let's brief the arrival and approach here as we have time. So we have been cleared to Ling. And then at Youth, we should be at 250 knots in between 11,000 to 13,000 feet. Okay, that's aligned here. Bimpo at 210 knots, exactly at 8,000 feet. It's good. Verco, Marod, Dekni, Davno, Dunol, and then we can expect vectors. So we are on like a downwind leg here, so we can expect to be vectored turn left towards ILS 23. And then there is a discontinuity because we are expecting vectors, so that's good, that's okay. And then on the approach itself, we will be vectored to Calvi over here. That's the one. And you can see at Calvi, it's actually planning for 3,000 feet. But the altitude is, you can see here, is 3244. So that's 244 feet above. That's the temperature compensation, and I think I have to let him know that.
Yeah, I'm not too sure either. Previously, it's been because of
3244. And then we'll intercept the glide slope after Calvi, somewhere there. Yeah, then Umtok, then runway. Okay. It's going to be a 237 degree final approach course. 111.5 on the frequency. I can actually plug that in already, but maybe later. And then we have a 3-degree descent, ILS glide slope. So that in our speed around 130 knots, that's going to be around 700 feet per minute descent. And our minimums would be 808 feet. So we can plug that in already. 808 feet would be our decision altitude. Let's go ahead and plug in refs.
Center Delta 4211, we're cleared over runway 24 right. Thanks for the KDEC. We'll disconnect over here. We'll see you next
Barrow.
time. KDEC, thanks.
4211,
and 808. The minimums 810. There you go. While we're here, let's also plug in the ILS frequency. So VOR1, that's the source. Frequency would be somewhere I would put in here.
Contact Montreal Center 128.77.
111.5. Also this one. You can see the snowflake for VPath. It's coming close to us, so we will start descending sharper later. Okay. Right, and then I can prepare. Final approach course is 237 degrees, so here I can actually plug in 237 on the course here. You can see I'm changing this one. Welcome back, Sky Team. DC Center is drunk tonight. What did they ask you to do? Good, 237 on the course, preparing for ILS 23 approach. There we go, 237, so that's ready. Let's also do that on this side to be on the safe side.
Foxtrot, I see you now. Thanks. Runway 23, altimeter 3023, taxi via Echo Hotel, cross runway
237.
Echo Hotel cross.
So even before we switch to nav 1 or lock 1, lock 2, we already have the course tuned in. So we will be pointed the right way. It's good. Right. So that's 810 feet. Elevation is 569. We set that up already a while ago. So descent will be 3 degrees. And if we need to go around, we'll need to climb to 1,100, heading 237, so runway heading. And then climbing right turn to 3,000 feet. Intercept outbound Yankee Zulu. VOR, it's Toronto VOR, I assume. 287 radial, so that's Toronto VOR right here. We'll be intercepting the 287 radial for our missed approach. And then direct to Iktut. And then we'll hold there and they'll do a direct entry on the hold. Okay, but the FMS should have that put in, should have that prepared for us. And if you do need to go around, I always want to practice this. I turn at least the steps. If you need to go around, I will push the toga button to mark the flight director's go around. Tell the FMS that we're going around. I disarm the ATS. I push forward on the throttle, pitch up, flaps 20. When I have positive rate, gear up, and then I switch to FMS1 so that I can follow the missed approach leg. I go to 200 knots on the speed bug, and then I activate autopilot. I turn on the ATS. More or less something like that. Okay, let's see. Took you off your start and sent you to some arbitrary altitude and start talking together. Goodness. Straight and visual runway doesn't exist. Goodness. Oh, glad you managed on your own. Strike the tower. Oh my goodness, that might be a different sim, huh? Okay, runway 23, 237, that's this one. And if we plan our approach now, let's have a look first. How are things going? It's coming. We should be VPath should be activating soon. There's the snowflake. Let's wait for it. VPath. There you go, VPath, and now we will descend much steeper, around 2,400 feet maybe, more or less. Let's see. Right, anyway, let's go and plug this in. Winds are 330 at 7 knots. Temperature is minus 12. Oh my goodness. Altimeter is 30.23 inches of mercury. No headwind. 7 knots. Right, crosswind from the right. And then we would be at 30,000 pounds by then. So let me plug this in for our landing weight, 30.0. It will compute the VREF for us. We will be consuming, if I do this right, around 2,500 feet of runway. Which would mean that I would have plenty of space. 2,500 feet would be around this one, so we can probably exit on Papa. Or if I do a bad job, we can exit on Juliet 2, probably. One of those, we'll see. Okay, but their VREF would be 117. I'm not sure what the VAC is. VFDO 145, okay.
Toronto, Oscar, Lima Fox, just want to confirm cross 33 right. Oscar, Lima Fox,
thanks,
correct, cross from a 33 right.
Would not happen on Pilot Edge, yeah, that's true. There's the missed approach, you can actually see it here. Turn right to ICDOT and then hold. Cool. I hope we'll not need to do a missed approach, but we will see. And now we're actually crossing 18,000 feet, so we'll switch to local altimeter, which is 3023. Also on this one, 3023. Good.
Going over to Boston for Walker 15. Thank you so much. Have a great night.
Right. And now we can actually see as well the FMS slowing down to 250 bit by bit, because it knows that there is a speed limitation at youth, 250 knots, and we should be in between 11 to 13,000. We'll monitor that. We'll see if the plane can handle that slowdown, or if we need to aid it a bit with speed brakes. Startup of the helicopters. I saw some videos of that. Can't remember which helicopter it was. My goodness. As simulated as possible. Yeah, the flying in VATSIM. This is not my first time, but it always feels like it. Granted, I think I'm doing a tad better than my first time. On my first time, I remember I really had bad. I think it took me 30 minutes to speak to the controller, or maybe 1 hour to press the push to talk.
Descent checklist.
Let's go for the descent checklist.
Passenger signs.
Let's go turn that on.
Air Canada 694, looking for a taxi to runway 23.
Pressurization.
Pressurization, we set that a while ago, but let's double check. Yeah, looks good.
Fuel quantity and balance.
3023, taxi by Alpha
Fuel quantity and balance, it is even.
FMS, landing data, charts.
Yeah, we've set that up.
Approach briefing.
Approach briefing, we did that already.
Transition flight level.
Flight level is 18,000.
Descent checklist complete. In-range checklist next.
In-range checklist. So for in-range, what I prefer is actually, if we go to the legs page here, we copy runway 23, we go to index fix, put that there, and then put a 25-mile distance, so we know when we are 25 miles away from the runway. So that's this one. You can see that circle. Oh, we're actually in it now. Yes, so we are pretty close in there. So probably when we make this turn, this right turn at Verio, I will execute the in-range checklist where the co-pilot will turn on the APU and everything.
Turning left, 180.
There's the ILS.
Climb 7,000.
The Ghost ILS is being received already. ILS frequency is being received, so we have the Ghost ILS showing there. But we're not going there, we're taking the long way around, the scenic route. Next so.
Toronto Center, hello, information's Juliet. When you're ready, descend flight level 240.
1 second, see that? Requires 3 people, oh my goodness. Awesome trick. Hey Saskia. Thanks. Descend 8,000, 1 Charlie Lima. Good. Let's go for 8,000.
547, descend 3,000, proceed at Ebb Delta, intercept the localizer.
First time in networking, read the clearance back so poorly, controller detracting it. Your rage quit. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's see. Are we within 250 knots? Yes, we are. Amazing plane. It did everything on its own, really helping me there. Good, thank you. So I need to do everything myself. The next one is 8,000 feet at Bimpo. I think the plane should be able to handle that. Let's go and start the in-range checklist so we have less things to worry about.
In-range checklist. APU. Started.
Okay.
Altimeter. Reset, cross-check. Avionics.
To Indianapolis with information Gulf.
Avionics
external
is good.
lights.
External lights, not yet.
4235 Toronto Center, where are you?
We are at 11,000 feet, maybe let's wait a bit.
Delta 4235, okay, contact Toronto Terminal 1193.
N1 target.
N1 target, let's go for perf TO.
Set.
Why is that lower? Interesting. I don't know the mechanics how that calculates.
APU PAX transition.
Can we turn this back on so we get some better sounds?
Avail completed. APU generator. On. CAS.
CAS is clear.
Okay,
message.
In-range checklist complete. Before landing checklist next.
Altimeter Toronto 3023, landing runway 248.
Looking good. Zoom in a bit. 210, 8,000. Look at that range to alt indicator. So we'll be at 8,000 exactly on the dot. So we're planning for 8,000 here. Now the final approach.
361. When you're ready to send 13,000 cross access
Final
level.
approach altitude will be 3,000. Okay, 3,000. So we can expect clearance to 3,000 later.
361 correct. When required, wind
or when they clear us
3023.
for the ILS-23. You can see the FMS, the speed bug
Charlie Lima,
lowering
turn right
itself.
direct Mayrod, descend 6,000.
Right direct Mayrod, descend 6,000, 1 Charlie Lima. I always have to double check which one it is. Okay, 6,000. So he gave us another shortcut, that's amazing. Slow down, slow down.
49 on departure, flighting 245, call airborne, wind 2805, clear takeoff from
Let's go to 200 knots, slow it down. 6,000 feet, we've been cleared.
Canada 125, runway 23, altimeter 3023, taxi via Alpha Hotel. 547 cleared ILS runway 240, 248.
Cleared ILS.
Okay, let's turn off the VNav. At this point, it's up to the controller to guide us. Oh, we actually see, is that Toronto right below? I think so, yeah, cool. Now the scenery admittedly is not the best in X-Plane, so I'm not really taking my time to appreciate it that much. Let's go for flaps 20 here to help slow us down. Speed checks, yes, 231 knots at least, or at most.
102, descend 1000, altimeter in Toronto, 3023, landing runway 248.
Okay, descend 1000, line 24 right, Air Canada 132.
Looking good. Toronto should be that way. Okay, that's that way.
Or excuse me, United 8353, descend 1000.
Oh, you can see the planes already.
3023, landing runway 248.
Super cool. 1000 to go. Let's go to 200 knots here.
Charlie Lima, descend 4000.
4000, 1 Charlie Lima.
Air Canada 674, passing through 1000, going to 5000.
Whenever you use your track IR in X-Plane, look down, moves up a lot. Hey Guy Frost, it's a bit tricky, but I found that track IR with default X-Plane does not work very well, so I actually have X camera right here to help. X camera is so much better for track IR. I would recommend you try this out. I think there's a free trial. If you're planning on using track IR with X-Plane, I wouldn't use the default one. It's a bit complex to learn, but it's worth it once you get to know it. Restrict vertical axis. Oh yeah, that might also work, the axis at which the head moves, yes.
Canada 649, I'm going to bring you around the long way, climb flight level 230 and turn right heading 030.
Canada 674, turning right heading 300 and going
flaps 20. Should be given vectors soon. I doubt.
You can make that heading 360.
I doubt we'll do all of these. He'll probably make us cut it somewhere. Make us turn left here.
360, sorry about that.
Motion sickness. Ah, I see. Yeah, track IR, I always have it on whenever I'm taking off landing.
Excuse me, United 22,
it's just so much easier to look around and fiddle with stuff.
Lighting 110. United 2214, vectors now, flighting 130. Charlie Lima, turn left heading 340, descend 3000.
Turning left 340, descending 3000, 1 Charlie Lima. 340.
The 547, wind 2706, clear to land runway 248.
Clear to land runway 248.
Heading 3000. 3000 is going to be our final altitude before we intercept the glide slope.
Air Canada 649, turning right heading 090.
That looks good. So now we are being vectored to the final approach. So what I can do is I can move
Canada
the
3242, looks like you had the wrong transition
as the current leg.
Vectors now to final flighting 010, descend 8000.
And now I can switch to nav here, nav source. Also on the other side. There we go. Now we have the localizer alive there. Nice. Let's slow down to 160 knots here.
Canada 649, direct dead key.
And I'll go flaps
Air Canada
30.
649, going on direct to dead key.
Hey Mala. VR. I don't have a VR headset, unfortunately. Yeah, and it's not very good for streaming. But for personal use, I think it's very much recommended. Go for in-range checklist, before landing checklist.
Before landing checklist. Landing gear lever.
We'll turn that down in a bit.
Charlie Lima, turn left heading 290, one more turn to final.
Left 290, 1 Charlie Lima, thank you. Right, looking good. The vectoring is amazing. Props to Mr. Controller. Oh my goodness, I feel so special. And then let's have a look here. And then I keep that on.
361, unfortunately, Cleveland's offline. Surveillance service to race cleared on today.
Flaps 30, 160 knots. What's our V speeds again? 117. Let's go for 124.
Canada
This plane is
649, climb
nice,
level
definitely.
350.
Definitely.
Air Canada 649 going to 350. Canada 3242, descend 6,000.
Getting close to the localizer. We're still on vectors though. Should
Charlie
be
Lima
next.
heading 270 to intercept, cleared ILS runway 23.
270 clear for LS23 on Charlie Lima.
Canada 125 on departure, flighting
Approach,
245,
it's on the
call airborne,
approach.
wind 2805, clear takeoff runway 23.
270. Looking good. Now when the glide slope is 1 dot away,
2214, descend
I'll put
8,000.
down my landing gear. Actually, you know what? Let's do it now so we have time. Let's go back to the checklist. Landing gear going
Center,
down.
good evening, Air Canada 420 Toronto. We got the weather, ready to taxi. 420 runway 23, altimeter 3023,
greens.
taxi via
No
Delta
steer.
Alpha Hotel.
Hard center clear.
Alright, Delta Alpha
Anti-skid.
Hotel 23 for Air Canada 420, thank you.
Hard tested. Passenger signs.
Center Delta 547,
On.
we're clear of
Wing
Vancouver,
cowl
taxi to
anti-ice.
Terminal 1.
No need.
Continuous
Delta
ignition.
547, okay. Delta usually parks at Terminal 3, but I'll give you Terminal 1.
Thrust reversers.
Echo
Let's go for
Delta
full flaps.
Short Alpha.
Hard. Spoilers.
2-4 knots.
Stowed auto.
Echo Delta
Flaps.
Hold Short of Alpha. Just want to try something new today. Thanks, Center.
Set. Cast.
547, you can cross runway 33 right.
Man, we are crabbing
Cross runway
hard.
33 right for Delta 5.
Crabbing to the right. Gas
Canada
is
landing
good.
3242,
checklist
turn left heading
After
350,
landing checklist
descend
next.
4000.
Nice.
Descend 4000, left heading 350.
Right, looking good. Yeah, VR would be great for the sim. I hear some people try VR, really like it, but it's a matter of taste. Some people get dizzy, some people don't like the resolution, some people love it. But yeah, it's I think it's better if you try it and then see if it's your thing. For me though, yeah, as a streamer, it might not be the best.
Canada 125, you're identified, climb flight level 230.
Track IR. New to XP, first plane. Oh yeah, it's amazing, Saskia. It's amazing. You will learn tons with this plane. I still am.
Charlie Lima, caution, possible turbulence, heavy heavy Dreamliner departed ahead, wind 2605 to the land runway 23.
Clear to land runway 23, 1 Charlie Lima. Okay, let's pay attention to that wake turbulence. I don't think it's simulated, but just to be on the safe side, right? And let's go ahead and put this in heading bug as well, 237.
Air
Like
Canada
so.
649, can I step away for a couple seconds?
Yeah, indeed, Mala, indeed.
Canada
Toronto Pearson.
649, say again. Can I step away for a couple minutes? No worries.
Right.
No 125, proceed right to AVSEP on course.
So we're expecting to vacate the runway at Papa or Juliet 2, most probably. Hopefully at Papa if I do things right.
I did 2214, turn right heading 160, descend 5000.
Beautiful airport in real life. I've never been. I hope I get there eventually, someday. Yeah, the scenery is not the best. I don't think I have ortho photos here. Not so sure.
Left heading 310, Canada 3242.
You're from Michigan.
Canada 3242, descend
Nice.
3000.
That airport is actually sounding very familiar. 1,000 feet. Okay, autopilot off, but I will keep ATS on. So the auto throttle system will take care of the speed part. And I have to focus on getting us down. And it will take care of slowing down the plane all the way to the runway. But still, I have one hand on the yoke, one hand on the throttle. Just so in case we need to disarm it, we can do it quickly. Okay, the winds are not so bad anymore. Wind's still coming from the right, but only now 5 knots, so the crabbing is not as bad. Okay, good. Now, I'm not a huge fan of the HUD. There is the HUD here. But it really confuses the heck out of me. I'm a bit too basic for that, so I don't use it. But I think it will help.
Cleared ILS runway 248.
We're a bit low.
70 cleared ILS runway G4 right,
Approaching minimums.
Just a bit. You can see the slight movements of the yoke there. Just minor adjustments. Looking good. I'm going visual now.
Minimums.
Land. Okay. Touchdown zone. Looking good. Little crab, so maybe it will help if we do a bit of left rudder just a tad.
50, 40, 30, 20,
Okay.
10.
Take it. Not most center line, but I'll take it. Thank you. There we go. Reversers on. Speed brakes fully deployed. Where is this? Is this Papa? This is Papa. We can make it to Papa, guys. Nice. Thank you. Right. Exiting at Papa. Is it this one? Sure hope so. Bounce landing. Oh, dang it. Okay. Let's analyze that later. But at least we had a stable approach. And the actual touchdown was not too bad. Study that later. Okay. How do we get there now? Let's turn off the...
Charlie Lima taxi via Foxtrot, Juliet, and Kilo at your discretion.
Foxtrot, Juliet, and Kilo at my discretion. Thanks for all the help on Charlie Lima. Nice. So Foxtrot is where we are. Juliet is to the right. And then Kilo is to the left. So we turn right here. No, actually, no, Kilo is this one, and then we turn left there. Okay. Good. 1 second, guys.
After landing checklist.
Okay.
Landing, pulse, recog lights.
Canada 30,
Hey, happy pappy.
Anti-collision lights.
705, clear to
Off.
land runway 248.
Continuous ignition. Off. Windshield heat. Off. Probes.
Okay, maybe let's
Off.
taxi
Wing anti-ice.
the center.
Off. Cowl anti-ice.
Yeah, cowl anti-ice is
Spoilers.
off. Spoilers are
Stowed.
retracted.
Flaps.
Stowed.
0. ATC TCAS.
Kilo is this one.
Radar mode.
Yeah,
Standby.
Kilo is this one.
After landing checklist complete. Engine
And
shutdown
signature
checklist
is right
next.
at the end there. Cool. We made it, guys. Welcome to Toronto. Wow, we made it in one piece. And I didn't smash the runways. I'm happy with that. A little bit of bounce, but we will take it. Let's analyze this a bit better later. But for now, let's get to signature, and then we'll replay. We'll study the stats, the stable approach plugin I have. It's very nice. It doesn't focus on butter. It focuses more on the stable approach. So the proper practices.
We have Juliet, we'll call you back to your Canada 129.
Okay, I think we can disconnect from VATSIM now. Let's disconnect. Thank you for all the help. Looking good. Now we have a bit more quiet, a bit less immersive, but it's okay. FBO should be right there in the corner if I see the map correctly, so it should be somewhere... I guess here, right? Yeah, somewhere here. This might be signature. Where's the snow? That's a good question. That is a good question. X-Plane unfortunately does not have snow by default. That's one of the limitations. The weather is really bad. The weather system is really bad. Now, how do they normally park here? You know what? I'll just put this here and I'll let them tow it. Let's just stop here and call it a day. Like so, right? We have taxi lights on. That's okay. Right. Parking brake is on. Chat right is on the left, signature north lounge is on the right. Oh, wow. You know your stuff. Thanks. Happy Pappy. This is chart right? Oh, I see. Okay. Because I was looking at, 1 second, maybe the map is not accurate. The only thing that I'm going with is this one. Let me show you. So if I'm going to signature FBO, this is my only reference point. So if I go for this one, right, Toronto, and if I just zoom in all the way, right, then it says, yeah, it's somewhere here. That's the taxiway we were on. That's Kilo, I think, and that's one on the left. So I'm not sure if that's accurate, but that's as close as I can get. It should be this one right here. Yeah. Cool. Good. All right, let's go ahead and switch back the nav source to nav and FD. And this plane really teaches you good habits, because if you leave something on, if you leave something hanging, then you have to pay for it. Now, before we do that though, before we turn off everything, let's go ahead and replay the stuff. Let's turn on music here. Let's entertain ourselves with the landing. Before that though, 1 second, huh? I want to see the stable approach. Stable approach. Let's have a look at the report. Detailed reports. That's the one. Okay, let's see. CL60, runway 23 at Toronto, ILS, yeah, ILS Cat 1. Check height VMC, because it's VMC conditions, check height is 500 feet. That means at 500 feet, it's going to do some checks. You should be stable. You should have gear down, flaps down, and all that stuff. It's going to do that at 500 feet above ground. Max lock deviation is 0.12. GS deviation is 0.29. It's okay. Sync rate is ranging from -553 to -674. That's very good rate. IAS min max is 124 to 124.8. So ATS did a really good job at controlling our speed all throughout the auto throttle system. Now, if you look at this one, centerline deviation, it's not the best, 26.3 feet. So as we landed a while ago, we did see that we were not on the center because we had a bit of crab and I didn't compensate for it perfectly. But it's okay, still somewhere in the middle, right? And yeah, I think that looks good. And then you can see here, yes, we did bounce. So it does count, it does detect all your landings. If you bounce, if each touchdown you do with the bounce, it detects that. So we actually got a pretty light landing in the first one. But I think our problem is this 124 knots. Remember, our VREF was 117. I think I might have pulled a bit too high. Yeah, so if you look at the pitch attitude, it's plus 3.9. I think ideally it's around 3. Somewhere like that. Thanks, Happy Papi. Thanks for the details. What provides the playback? The replay? Or this one, this stats. The replay is part of the sim itself. It's part of X-Plane. This one is Stable Approach plugin. It's all in the mods list if you guys want to download. This is free. So if you look, everything is okay. Stopping distance, touchdown zone, centerline deviation, they're all okay. Touchdown rate, G-force, sync rate, everything is good. But yes, we bounced. So I think it's either I was too fast, maybe I should have been 122, 123 knots, or end the pitch attitude. My flare shouldn't have been too pitch up. Maybe something like that. Yeah, you can see the pitch attitude is 3.9 to 5.2. 5.2 it seems a bit excessive. So I think I pulled up a bit too much. That's not bad. And now let's see. So now we have an idea what happened. Let's go and check the replay of how that looks like. Let's go outside. Get the camera in here. Goodness. Home court advantage indeed. Happy Papi knows his stuff. Thanks. for all the insights. Let's go and look for there's final approach. All right, let's have a look. Okay, stable approach, and then we can play it like this, right? That's the normal speed. And adjust the camera right here. Flaps are down, gears down, everything is good. Landing lights are on, supposedly, yes. And then let's see how the touchdown looks like. Global art scenery for Toronto is excellent. Ah, yes, I have not actually explored anything that is custom in the airport department. I should. So here we go. Yeah, a bit off center. There we go. There's the first one. There's the second bounce. Not too bad. They're pretty light, but yeah, they're bouncy. It's pretty nice though. This replay system that's built in with X-Plane. And then I turned on the reversers. Until now, unfortunately, it is not yet in MSFS, right? This is something that really helps with the analysis. Yeah. It's pretty cool. There's a little bounce. Yeah, true. Cool. That's nice. There's actually one more view here, I think, which is pretty cinematic. Let's try that. So if I pause this one, and if I go shift 3, that should be the runway view. And then as we play this, we can kind of like get a cinematic vibe of the angle. Something like this. Pretty cool. Yeah, I like that stuff. Nice. Where you flew over, there's a Wendy's in a very dense industrial park. Great place for spotting. Oh, right where that was. Good. Analysis has been pretty easy so far. Fatal. Yes, once you learn, then it becomes fun. And yeah, I suggest hanging out in the Hot Start Discord. Whenever I look there, I always learn something new. Like this one, let me show you what I learned recently. This is pretty cool. So let's maybe turn off the passenger signs. We are parked now. Did you guys know that we could actually put in a custom waypoint in this plane? Let me show you. And it's pretty easy. It's very intuitive. So if you actually go and, for example, drag this one, right click and drag, right? You'll see a dot there. Like so, right? Now if you want to, for example, go there, yeah, you want the plane to go there, you want to set that as a custom waypoint. Apparently what you just need to do, I hope I do this right, is you can actually press the data button right here. Is that working? Or maybe that's the wrong one. Maybe it's this one. No, not this one. It's the CCP, I think. This one. There it is. So you actually get the coordinates of that waypoint you marked, and now you're free to put this. It's now in the scratch pad. You go put a direct in there, like so. Yeah, it goes there. Lima Lima 01. It's amazing, isn't it? That could come in handy, and then you can execute that. But yeah, that's the power of this avionics, and everything is implemented. It's something I learned from Hotstart, from Discord. I'm just like browsing and someone was asking about custom waypoints. So yes, I highly recommend you guys hang out there. You'll learn something new every day. It's amazing. Thanks, Ask. Vista Cargo Zet's Diner. Souvlaki, gyro, steak. Oh, is that Greek food? Man, now I'm hungry. Thanks for that. Alright, let's shut down the plane.
Engine shutdown checklist. Taxi lights.
Taxi lights are off.
Parking brake.
Parking brake is set.
Reverse thrust.
Reverse thrust is stowed.
Generators 1 and 2.
Generators 1 and 2 can go off.
Off. Engine 2 shut down.
Engine 2 can now be shut down properly, not using the one I did a while ago. Turn off the engine speed. Fuel boost pumps, and we're looking for a right low fuel pressure in here. There it is. Yes.
Engine 1 shut down.
Now we can shut down engine 1.
Check ITT below 350 degrees Celsius.
Yep, that looks good.
Anti-ice off. 14th
See
stage.
the oil pressure in there again. Why is that? Am I running out of fuel in there? Let's see the 15 minutes here. So it's 10:40. Let's go 10:56 my local time. I'll check the engine oil if there's something missing. 14th stage, we can turn that off now. This one and that one.
No steer.
No steer can go off.
Off. ATC TCAS.
Actually, it should be beacons as well. I think I skipped it. Beacons off. ATC TCAS can now go standby and then 00. Reset it.
Standby 0.
Same. If
Parking
you
brake
leave
if
your
chopped.
squawk code like that, it will be like that when you get back the next day. So just clean it up properly. Parking brake if chalked. Yes, we can put in the chalk so we can release the parking brake. Right click and drag. Yeah, nice trick. I haven't had the chance to use it yet, but it can be very handy if you're like flying visually or whatnot and you want to go through a certain obstacle or something. You see it on the map, just drag it there. Greek community. Oh, I see. Prince Edward Viaduct has a lot of mom and pop run. Oh my goodness, I love Greek food. It's so fresh. It's so like real. That's how I would put it. Alright, chocks are in as indicated by the marshal. Let's go and release the parking brake.
Passenger signs.
Passenger signs are off.
Off. Cabin differential. 0 PSI.
That should be 0.
Engine shutdown checklist complete. Securing checklist next.
Good. Alright. So that means our passengers can now be, if they're still okay there. You guys okay with my landing? 10 out of 10 would ride again. Maybe not. Nah, let's not do a PA anymore. Let's have them leave. So because we called Jenny in advance a while ago, there should be the van waiting for us. So let's go ahead and unlock the door and then push this out. I love this feeling as you look outside, look at your engine and everything. Very nice. Cool.
Our ride is here.
There
Thank
go.
you, Captain.
And there's the van.
Always such a pleasure flying with you. Have a
pleasure.
nice rest of your day.
Have a good one. Got a custom livery coming soon for this bird. Oh, cool. Looking forward to it. Yes, please share with us when you have it. I'll be keeping an eye out on Discord as well. Thanks, Sky Team. Yes, I would love to, but I would have to go soon, unfortunately. Yeah, so we will clean up the plane and we'll call it a stream. But yes, I'm looking forward to flying more with VATSIM, especially. That was super fun. Thank you guys for hanging out with me because that was something that offline ATC cannot give you. Shortcuts, vectors, humor, the fun stuff. My goodness, that was fun. Okay, hope you enjoyed it as much as I did.
Secure and checklist.
Okay, let's go and
Emergency
secure this.
lights.
Emergency lights turns
AC
off.
DC utility switch.
Utility switch can go off. That should get marked
Headsets.
white.
Thrust
Headsets are
reversers.
stowed. Reversers can go off.
Chocks.
Shocks
Parking
are in.
brake.
Parking
Hydraulic
brake is
pumps.
released. Hydraulic pumps can... Oh, 1 second. Before we go with the hydraulic pumps, 1 second, guys. Before we turn off the hydraulic pumps, since this update, you have to put in the gear pin. Because later, when you turn off the hydraulics, the nose door won't open anymore. This thing requires hydraulics to open. This switch. Otherwise, would not do anything. So let's go and do that. Let's put in the pin. And let's go and close it. And now we can... There you go. Now we can shut down the hydraulic pumps. Awesome and VATSIM, very patient. They sure seemed like it. Very friendly. I had tons of fun. Good.
Nav lights, logo light.
Nav lights, logo lights can go off.
APU generator.
APU generator can go off, and that will actually turn off the voice of the guy because it turned off everything. But basically what we do is turn off the APU here, put it stop, and then turn off the packs here. Sorry, what happened? I think Nightbot became a bit aggressive. Sorry about that. And then turn off the APU right here. Yeah, sorry. Nightbot is a bit intense about the link. Sorry. Global art. Oh, can you even use the de-icing pad? So you can taxi to the de-icing pad and then call de-icing? Oh, that's amazing. Oh, I haven't tried that before. Cool. Nice. All hail Nightbot, hey Scotsman. Oh yeah, that looks good. So now we're just waiting for the APU here. The EGT to go. The APU markings here to close. That would signal that the APU is fully off. While we're waiting, what we can do is actually go around already and put in the gear pins to save some time. Do things in parallel. So the gear pins, as Toto explained, the developer explained, it's mainly, one second, there's something wrong. That one, there you go. One second, sorry. Let's do that again. Good one, Happy Pappy. I'll have a look. I haven't checked her out yet. Thank you. Alright, let's go and put the pins. And on this side as well. I love the footsteps. ASMR. There you go. That looks good. Let's go back. The AP should be fully closed by now. Yeah, it looks good. So now we can turn off the battery. Awesome. Now it's time to just close the plane. But let's also close all the blinds. Yeah, the immersion in this plane is more than just the flying. The flying itself is of course the highlight. And it's as realistic as it gets. But even more than that, it really gives you a nice peek at how a corporate pilot works. And it's just amazing. Goodness. So yes, it is a bit pricey, but my goodness, it is worth every penny in my books. So I happily spent that on this plane. Creaking door, why not? Let's go and close that. Looking good, and let's put in the covers. And you can see the animated flags. There are mild winds here, right? We say 330 at 7 knots. So yeah, that's not really significant. So as you can see, the flags are fairly mild. Super cool stuff. Also here. Good. Nice. Awesome. Alright, so let's step into the FPO. I think we're good. And then I'll go back again later to check the engine oil temps. Make sure we're not out of oil or something. Q400 pins are the worst to install. I would have no idea. Thank you. Thanks for the added insight. Step up on the wheel and reach up and fiddle around and find the hole and make sure the button is not... Oh my goodness, that sounds laborious. Awesome. Alright, so yes, let's end it there, guys. I will check the oil later. I hope the plane is okay. Thank you for watching. Those who stayed in the beginning and then left and then just came back now don't have a say. i.e. Scotsman. Have a good one, everybody. I had fun. Hope you guys did as well. This will go on YouTube if you missed some parts. If you want to watch the entire thing, then you are more than welcome to watch it. Thanks, everyone, and appreciate the company. Have a good one. Clumsy flying, and catch you soon. Goodbye.